drone that hit an apartment building caused at least 3 apartments to completely collapse and left a gaping hole. Rescue workers in Kiev were seen recovering a body from the rubble of a building after waves of explosive suicide drones struck the Ukraine's capital. The strike set buildings ablaze, sending people suckering for shelter or attempting to shoot down the kamikazes. A week after, Russia unsheathed its most widespread strikes against Ukraine in months. The Biden administration said that it will not hesitate to use sanctions or take actions against the perpetrators.
We have been warning since July that Iran was planning to sell UAVs to Russia for use against Ukraine. We also exposed publicly that Russia has received drones from Iran, that this was part of Russia's plan to import hundreds of Iranian UAVs of various types, and that Russian operators continue to receive training in Iran on how to use these systems. There's extensive proof of their use by Russia against both military and civilian targets there.
In Washington, the State Department called Iran's supply of deadly drones to Russia a violation of the international law.
As I think you probably saw earlier today, our French and British allies publicly offered the assessment that Iran's supply of these UAVs to Russia is a violation of UN Security Council Resolution 2231, and this is something that we agree with.
Iran previously denied providing Russia with weapons, although its Revolutionary Guard chief has boasted of providing arms to the world's top powers without elaborating. Agency report, Republic TV.
The Swedish parliament elected Ulf Kristersson, the Conservative Moderate Party leader, as the Prime Minister at the head of a coalition that is being supported by a once radical far-right party. Here are the details.
The Swedish parliament has elected Ulf Kristersson, the Conservative Moderate Party leader, as Prime Minister. Kristersson, aged 59, was elected by 176 to 173 votes. His government is expected to be presented today. The three-party coalition does not have a majority, but in Sweden, prime ministers can govern as long as there is no parliamentary majority against them.
Så herr talman, den regering som nu till slut står inför omröstning är en anmärkningsvärd konstruktion. Regeringsunderlagets 3 minsta partier, som alla försämrade sina valresultat, ska utgöra regering, medan det största partiet står bredvid och dikterar villkoren.
Åkesson, who doesn't consider his party far-right, said he would have preferred cabinet seats for the Sweden Democrats. But he supported the deal that would give his party influence over government policy, including on immigration and criminal justice.
Nu är det viktigt att vi får en stabil regering på plats. En regering med ett stabilt parlamentarisk förankring. Vi hade gärna sett en majoritetsregering. Det vore bra för Sverige efter många år med ganska svaga regeringar. Men samtidigt så har jag och mitt parti under hela valrörelsen varit oerhört tydliga med att det är sakpolitiken som måste stå i centrum.
Since the elections, the Populist Party has landed the chairmanships of 4 parliamentary committees and with it the ability to wield more influence on mainstream Swedish politics.
Vi är också redo att ta ansvar för det. Vi är redo att ta ansvar för det i de delar där vi har överenskommit med den tillträdande regeringen. Vi kommer att agera lojalt gentemot, vi kommer att hedra den uppgörelse som har slutits. Men också i övriga delar, sånt som inte omfattas av vårt samarbete, så kommer vi att agera som övriga partier här i riksdagen. Söka brett stöd för vår politik.
Kristersson will be replacing Magdalena Andersson, who heads Sweden's largest party, the Social Democrats, which now are in the opposition. He backs Sweden's historic bid to join NATO following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February. Agency report for Republic TV.
Newly elected president of Iraq, Abdul Latif Rashid, has assumed power. He did so at a formal ceremony that took place at the Al Salam Palace in Baghdad. Take a look.
Longtime Iraqi politician and former minister Abdul Latif Rashid assumed power as country's president in a formal inauguration ceremony. The ceremony took place at Al Salam Palace in Baghdad. 5 days prior, Iraqi lawmakers elected Rashid as the country's next president, defying threats of further violence following a barrage of rocket attacks earlier in the day and taking a key step towards ending a crippling political vacuum. At least 9 rockets targeted Iraq's parliament inside the heavily fortified Green Zone, the seat of the government, ahead of a much-anticipated session where lawmakers forged ahead with the formation of the next government despite the political crisis. At least 5 people were wounded. As per the Iraqi law, the president must call on parliament's largest bloc to nominate a premier. Latif was elected with a vote of 162 out of 261 vote cast. He served as water rescuer minister from 2003 until 2010 and has been an advisor to the head of the state since. Outgoing President Brahim Saleh reportedly walked out of the parliament building as the votes were tallied. He lost with 99 votes. In Iraq's power-sharing system, the presidency is reserved for Kurdish groups to nominate, while the premiership falls under the Shiite blocs. The real test going forward for the crisis-hit country's bickering factions will be in officially voting the new prime minister and the cabinet lineup. Al-Sadr is out of the political process as he withdrew his lawmakers from the parliament and since announced his withdrawal from politics. Agency report, Republic TV.
In other international news, UK's new Treasury Chief Jeremy Hunt reverses most of an economic package announced by the Liz Truss government just weeks ago, including a planned cut to income tax. In a bid to soothe turbulent financial markets, Hunt says he was scrapping almost all the tax cuts announced last month and signaled public spending cuts are on the way. UK Treasury Chief Jeremy Hunt tells lawmakers he is cancelling Truss's plan to reduce basic rate of income tax by 1 percentage point and most of our other libertarian economic policies in a message aimed squarely at reassuring the financial markets, says Britain was a country that funds promises and pays debts. Russian warplane crashes in a residential area in the port of Yeysk on the Sea of Azov after suffering engine failure on Monday. According to military officials, a Su-34 bomber came down after one of its engines caught fire during takeoff. Sources further assert both crew members bailed out safely, but the plane crashed into a residential area, causing a fire as tons of fuel exploded on impact. United Nations Secretary General calls for international armed action to reopen a port in Haiti that has been shut down by conflict. Guterres' call comes days after the US and Canada send armored vehicles and other supplies to Haiti to help police fight a powerful gang amid a pending request from the Haitian government for the immediate deployment of foreign troops. We're getting breaking news at this point here on The World This Morning. News coming in of the United States of how it has been silent on the F-6 package to Pakistan. And even as the United States has termed Pakistan as dangerous, it has granted an F-16 package to that country. And the United States is silent on the F-16 package that has been sent to Pakistan, raising questions about what it says and actually does.
Pakistan on Saturday summoned the US ambassador for an explanation after the president described Pakistan as the most dangerous place in the world. Does the White House have a reaction to that? And also, if Pakistan is the most dangerous place, then why provide an assistance with the F-16?
So I already spoke to this just the other day. I don't have much to add. I spoke to this on Friday when we were headed to Portland. This is something the president has said before, and I just am not going to add more to what I just laid out just a couple of days ago.
Pakistan on Saturday summoned the US ambassador for an explanation after the president described Pakistan as the most dangerous place in the world. Does the White House have a reaction to that? And also, if Pakistan is the most dangerous place, then why provide an assistance with the F-16?
So I already spoke to this just the other day. I don't have much to add. I spoke to this on Friday when we were headed to Portland. This is something the president has said before, and I just am not going to add more to what I just laid out just a couple of days ago.
So the Biden administration, by this move of supplying F-16s to Pakistan, has raised a lot of questions. Just a short while back, only recently, the United States had termed Pakistan one of the most dangerous places, and now it is sending aid to that country. Time now for a very short break here on World This Morning, but coming up on the other side, Russian Su-34 warplane crashes at residential space at Yeysk in Ukraine. Also coming up, at least 1.3 million people displaced by floods in Nigeria. Deluge affects people across at least 33 states in the country.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया
राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing.
Nice weather. Get on the bobber. 42 bobber. Why do they call it a bobber? But does it matter? What matters is where are those birds off to? Southern hemisphere. Left. Right. Airplane mode. Rocket mode. 100. 110. Gravel ahead. Hill ahead. Up the hill road. Down a rabbit hole. Take the first exit. Have second thoughts? Take a chance. Worth it. Totally worth it.
Welcome back. You're watching World This Morning, and as we were telling you, a Russian warplane crashed into a residential area of Yeysk on the Sea of Azov in Ukraine following engine failure. The pilots survived the crash, but the accident caused a fire in the area. Here's more.
A Russian warplane crashed in a residential area in the port of Yeysk in the Sea of Azov after suffering an engine failure. A Su-34 bomber came down after one of its engines caught fire during takeoff. It said that both crew members bailed out safely, but the plane crashed into a residential area, causing a fire as tons of fuel exploded on impact. The Kremlin said that President Vladimir Putin was immediately informed about the crash, and he ordered ministers of health and emergencies along with the local governor to head to the site. The regional governor had said that emergency services were working to put out the fire. Local authorities say that the massive blaze engulfed several floors of the 9-story apartment building, and at least 17 apartments were affected. There was no immediate information about casualties. The Defense Ministry said that the plane that had crashed had taken off for a training mission. Local residents posted videos showing an apartment building on fire. Explosions could be heard in the videos. Yeysk is a city of about 90,000 and is home to big Russian air base. The Su-34 is a supersonic twin-engine bomber equipped with sophisticated sensors and weapons that has been a key strike component of the Russian Air Force. The aircraft has seen wide use during the war in Syria and fighting in Ukraine. Agency report for Republic TV.
And on to news from Nigeria, where the death toll from floods this year has increased to 603 as local authorities race to get relief items for hundreds of thousands evacuated from their submerged homes. Here's a detailed report.
More than 1.3 million people have been displaced by floods in Nigeria, which has affected people across 33 states, according to the nation's Humanitarian Affairs Ministry. At least 340,000 hectares of land have also been affected. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari directed all concerned to work for the restoration of normalcy, according to a statement issued by the presidency. Nigeria experiences annual flooding, especially in coastal areas, but this year's floods are the worst in more than a decade. Authorities blame the disaster this year on the release of excess water from Lagdo Dam in neighboring Cameroon and on unusual rainfalls. Agency report for Republic TV.
The faces that matter. The most compelling conversations. The issues never discussed before. India's biggest news media conclave.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand. Security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
Manish Sisodia राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand. Security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
Manish Sisodia राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand. Security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
Three days and yet another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 labourers are shot dead in their sleep. Forces intensify the crackdown on terror hours after fresh targeted killings encounter underway in Shopian. Anger over back-to-back targeted killings in the valley. India asks for justice. CBI refutes Sisodia's claims as interrogation as per allegations in FIR and evidence collected. Grilled for 9 hours, Manish Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again. UN Chief Antonio Guterres is on a 2-day visit to India, set to meet with Prime Minister Modi and the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Good morning and welcome. You are watching The Morning Express on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Now, as targeted killings continue in Jammu and Kashmir, the terrorist behind the third targeted killing in Shopian has been arrested. The ADGP has said that the terrorist lobbed a grenade at the laborers. This is the third targeted killing in the last 3 days. Now, this time, pro-Pakistan terrorists targeted 2 laborers and were shot dead in their sleep in yet another cowardly attack. In a parallel development, an encounter has now broken out in Shopian. All right, so as we're pointing out, of course, there has been a considerable amount of outrage over these targeted killings which have taken place in Shopian. What we get to know right now is that the terrorist who is believed to be behind the third targeted killing in Shopian has been arrested. The ADGP has said that the terrorist lobbed a grenade at the laborers, and this is the third targeted killing that has been reported in the past 3 days. The situation, of course, continuing to remain tense in Shopian over there. Zeenat is reporting live. Zeenat, good morning. Zeenat, to begin with, give us an overall sense of what's happening over there. We're now learning that one of the terrorists who could have been behind the third targeted killing has now been arrested.
See, Nupur, we are reporting from the Gehend of Shopian, where the exchange of fire was witnessed between the terrorists and the security forces a while back, as we talked about the encounter. But since this exchange of fire was reported from the orchard, apple orchard, now the search operation has started, because this is a very huge and the vast area where the gunshots were heard. Now we are seeing, as my VJ Mubashir is giving you the visuals from the spot, where the reinforcement is being rushed to the spot where the exchange of fire had taken place. Talking about the, as you said, about the target killings in the Kashmir Valley, from here around 500 meters from the Gehend place is the Hermand, where the targeted killings were reported in the midnight, where the 2 lone local laborers were killed by the terrorist Imran Bashir Garai, who has now been arrested by the Jammu and Kashmir police, because the confirmation has come from the top cop of J&K police, ADGP Kashmir, Vijay Kumar, said that Imran Bashir Garai, a hybrid terrorist working with the LET, Lashkar-e-Toiba, was behind the attack. He hurled the grenade at the non-locals who were sleeping on the rented accommodation. They were living in a tin shed. He hurled a grenade. The cause of the death was the splinter injuries that both the laborers received. They were taken to the district hospital Shopian, where legal and the medical formalities were done by the doctors posted there. Since 12:30 a.m., we saw a lot of action in the Shopian district, where the police swung into action, and in less than 3 hours time, the hybrid terrorists, the terrorists who were behind this attack, were held by the J&K police. Although the investigation in the case is still on, more multiple raids are being carried by the J&K police in Shopian and other districts of the South Kashmir. Meanwhile, the gunshots were heard here in this very orchard, where from my VJ is giving you the visuals. You can see the reinforcement, the vehicles from the police department as well as the army are here. These Jawans are keeping an eye because this is an orchard area where the gunshots were. In fact, the exchange of fire was reported from this very place. So this is the area where this is the Gehend of Shopian where the gunshots, so the exchange of fire was reported a while back, although the search operation has started because this is a very huge patch of land where the terrorists are hiding. In fact, the drones were also pressed into service to locate the exact exact location of the terrorists, those who are hiding in this orchard. So back on the one side, we are seeing that the target killing being solved by J&K police in less than 3 hours of time, and on the other side, we are also seeing that anti-terror operation has been launched by the J&K police along with an Indian army in Gehend of Shopian. So a lot of action coming from the Shopian because 2 days back, when we talk about the Shopian, that the Kashmiri Pandit was martyred, was killed by the terrorist.
Absolutely.
Just when he tried to come out from his home. Since then, the Shopian police was on alert. They've been looking for the terrorists, even those who are behind that attack. Yes, Anapur.
Zeenat, what I wanted to ask you is that this has become a considerable security challenge for law enforcement agencies over there because these hybrid terrorists, they slip in, conduct these operations and then merge back with civil society. So in that sense, do you think that this is becoming a big challenge for security forces?
See, Nupur, this is always a challenge for the security forces because the kind of hybrid terrorists, the way they are making the movement, because it is very difficult for the security forces to identify such people, despite those people are on radar, as they have been saying that they are able to identify now. That is why we see that the kind of information out the police gets, the human int that they get, that in less than 3 hours that the terrorist who carried this crime, he was arrested. That means that the human int or the information is coming to the police because people are also not with the bloodshed because the kind of protests that were witnessed in Shopian or other districts of the Kashmiri Valley after the killing of Kashmiri Pandit Puran Krishan. But since obviously the terrorists want to disturb the situation on ground because they are targeting those people only who are vulnerable, the soft targets, because someone is in sleep and you see in the dark, in the middle of the night, taking the advantage of darkness, somebody is moving around with the grenade in his pocket and then hurls grenade and cause injury, or because of the splinter injuries the person dies. So tracking those moments in the darkness of night is a challenge for the security forces, be it in any place on earth. It's very difficult to track the moment, particularly during nights. Although we are seeing the alerts or the security beefed up, deployment increase, the Naka points increase, but if somebody is committing a crime somewhere around 12:30 in AM, so it really becomes difficult because this tells you that how the terrorists try to make their movements now, because during daytime the alertness is more, the forces visibility is more, so taking advantage of darkness or the middle of the night they try to carry the crime. But despite all this, we also witnessed that how they were able to crack the case in less than 3 hours when they arrested the killer. So this is a success on the one side, but such killing should not happen again in the future, for which J&K police needs to pull up the socks along with other security forces so that such killings are stopped.
Right, absolutely. And Zeenat, obviously there is incredible pressure also because we have seen targeted killings take place in the valley, and there are a large number of Kashmiri Pandits who are still not going to work, who are still asking for more to be done.
See, there is a pressure from the Kashmiri Pandit community on the administration, the police, because they have been demanding their relocation. Now they are also demanding the work from home. So definitely this has caused a lot of pressure when it comes to the target killings in the Kashmir Valley. But despite all this, the police, whatever is possible within means, they are trying the best. That can be witnessed in today's case also when they were able to arrest, because identifying a terrorist and then arresting, it also requires a lot of efforts. So since this killing was reported from the Shopian, since then we are seeing the multiple raids, the coordinated search operations, many people being picked up, they are being questioned, and finally the police is laying its hand on this hybrid terrorist who has been identified as Imran Bashir Ganai. So police is working, the intelligence is working.
All right, I'm going to come back to you, Zeenat, in just a bit. Stay with us.
More than 3 decades.
Zeenat, stay with us. I'm sorry to interrupt over there. We're going to come back to you, but Mr. Sinha on the phone line with us. Mr. Sinha, how do you see these targeted killings that are taking place? Obviously, it is quite a challenge for security forces because these are hybrid terrorists. So what that essentially means is that they're not listed. They come in, they carry out these targeted killings, and then they slip away in the night. So how do you see this going forward, and how do you think security forces need to rise to this challenge?
This has become a routine now. Target killing, which is taking place, it may be taking in any form by anybody. We may call it a hybrid war and all. But the matter of the fact is the people are losing lives. And the situation is, more or less same. There may be a lull for a period. Then a game starts up. They're targeting, the Kashmiri pundits, the laborers, the pattern remains such. Whether it is the TRF, Total Resistance Front, whether it is Alpha, the name has changed. But, the situators are the same. So we are in circle, as, I feel it, because all out operations we carry out the same way, that we identify and, we do the coordinate search and, then we eliminate. But the main perpetrator is, sitting across, and they will keep doing it, and we will keep taking it. We keep talking. We have to do something now, from where the thing is coming. The epicenter is not in Kashmir Valley. It is a long hand is coming from across, we all know. But we have to do, the thing is carrying on in some form or other last 30, 35 years now. We are able to control and, and a lot of things have changed. The kudos are there, we escape. But now the time has come, very decisive, because the ground is there, people are there with us. You see yesterday, the way the Hurriyat offers, there are people the locals have, now put in India over there. So a lot of expectations are there. We have to go all out, and that all out includes whether a hinterland and also across. Until unless we punish, the deterrence will not come.
All right, Major Sinha, appreciate your speaking to us on Republic TV. Thank you very much for joining us. So, the latest that we have on the encounter that's currently on, of course, in Shopian is that security forces are trying to sanitize the entire area. One terrorist, of course, has been arrested for lobbing that grenade. We're going to try and go across to Zenith in just a bit for more on this, but two migrant laborers from Uttar Pradesh were killed during an overnight terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Shopian district. The attack, of course, came just days after the Kashmiri Pandit was killed in a targeted attack in the same district. According to the police, terrorists threw a grenade on a non-local laborers in the Herman area of Shopian late Monday night. The two laborers who were killed were Ram Sagar and Manish Kumar, both residents of Shopian. I think we've got Dr. S.P. Ved, the former Jammu and Kashmir DGP, on the phone line with us. Dr. Ved, good morning. Thank you for speaking to us. Dr. Ved, this is becoming a bit of a challenge for security forces because these terrorists are not really listed. They are hybrid terrorists. They come in, they are largely seen as lone wolf attacks. How do you see this panning out, and how do you think security forces need to rise to this?
It is definitely a big challenge for the security forces because labor is spread all over Kashmir Valley. It's working on various projects of development, which Prime Minister Modi's government has actually in a big way. It's going ahead for development. So many projects are coming up. So labor is spread all over the Kashmir Valley, and even in private sector, people use outside labor. Like you have orchards, apple orchards, and other things. Hardly any Kashmiri local works there. It's most probably the outside labor which works in this. So it's protecting labor is very, very difficult because security forces cannot be present everywhere. And this is being done with the sole aim of sabotaging the development impetus which Prime Minister Modi's government has actually unleashed in Kashmir, so that the face of Kashmir is turned in the coming years. So many AIMS and IITs and universities and medical colleges and so much of new industrial policy, so much of funds are coming up. This is just to sabotage that, so that the development does not change the face of Kashmir, and young boys in Kashmir do not get engaged into constructive activities. These terrorists, on the behest of Pakistan, want to sabotage that. As far as your question of how big challenge it is, see, the security forces will have to cover it through long-range patrols, through various intelligence-based operation. I think I'm told encounter has started. That is the way. Get these people, immediately track down, eliminate them, and if in this, the local people we will have to seek their help, because ultimately these terrorists live in that society, and people would know where there is a movement and where they are likely to strike. So I think good sources could, dwell by J&K police, could definitely avoid this.
Right. Dr. S.P. Ved, appreciate your speaking to us on Republic TV. Thank you very much for joining us. So as he was pointing out, of course, these are soft targets which hybrid terrorists are looking to target, and obviously because of the large amount of work that's being carried out in Jammu and Kashmir, we see these being reported from there. I think I'm going to go back on the ground to Zeenat. Zeenat, also give us an idea about how security forces are planning to deal with this in the future, because even as Dr. Ved was pointing out, there are a lot of labor which actually comes from across different parts of the country to Jammu and Kashmir now, because there is a lot of construction activity that is on, and also they work in these orchards. So in that sense, give us more details in terms of what security forces are now looking at doing to prevent these lone wolf attacks.
See, Nupur, I'll take you first to the place where this killing happened. This is the exact tin shed where the non-local laborers were sleeping in the evening, and then they were targeted early morning. This is the place where you can see that they have some bedding is lying here on the floor, and in fact some apple boxes too are lying on this floor. This is the very place where they were targeted by this hybrid terrorist who hurled grenade. My VJ is giving you the frame. These are the visuals from that very place, because this is the place as one can see the damage that has caused because of the grenade. So here these laborers were sleeping, and he lobbed a grenade from outside, and one can see the marks, the holes on these tin sheds. That was the cause of the caused injury, the splinter injuries. That is the blood is the blood soaked. This bedding is again lying here on the floor. This is the visual of the place. So these are the exclusive visuals on the Republic, where you see the place there. This is the place where these non-locals from the UP who were working in the orchards in the Shopian, they used to come in the evening. This was their resting place. This place was, they were living here on the rent, and the one who lobbed a grenade now has been arrested by the Shopian police. So you can see the bedding, the apple boxes, and also their clothes that belongs to the non-locals. All these things. Then you can see some utensils. So they were they were using this entire accommodation as a kitchen, as a resting place. The two laborers were sleeping here. Both of them had come from UP to earn their livelihood in Shopian of South Kashmir, but this time they became the target of the terrorists who are trying to disrupt the situation on ground. So this is the place, the exclusive visuals that we are beaming of the place where the terrorists targeted these non-locals, and this attack resulted into the killing of the two non-locals coming from the UP, and they got killed here. Now their bodies will be sent to their native place, and these laborers were sleeping here at this very place when the terrorists targeted by lobbing a grenade. So this is the scene at present, although there is a fair, quite well seen in the society here, because this is the season of the harvesting. That is why we are seeing the apple boxes are packed here, the packed apple boxes here, because they were also working in the orchard of apples. So one can see the apple boxes lying here on the floor. The police has already launched cordon search operation at many places during nights, and in fact the gunshots were also exchanged just few meters away from this place, where the input coming is that the terrorists are still trapped in the apple orchard. So all this is coming at a time when there is an upper hand of security forces in the Kashmir Valley because of the kind of anti-terror operations they launched, the way the number of terrorists they are getting neutralized, and this definitely is not going well with the people staying across when they see that their people are getting neutralized in anti-terror operations, and the police and the army are getting the humor about the movement of terrorists.
All right, Zenith, of course, bringing us those details from this targeted killing that took place yesterday. Thank you very much for joining us. And Zenith, of course, also reporting on the continuous operation that is on in the surrounding area of Shopian. Now, the NIA is currently raiding about 50 locations. The raids are being carried out on what the NIA believes are criminal gangs. Raids are being conducted in about 50 locations. They are in most of them, of course, in North India. We are getting reports of raids being carried out in Punjab, Chandigarh and Lucknow. And there are about 9 locations in Punjab which are also being raided. Now, what we're given to understand is that these are criminal gangs who are being investigated. The NIA, of course, is conducting these raids even as we speak. I think I'm going to go across to Gursimran on this one. Good morning, Gursimran. Give us more details of what you're learning, and also tell us more about these criminal gangs against whom these operations are on.
Nupur, the raids are underway at the multiple locations. We are told that around 51 locations in not only in Punjab, Chandigarh, Haryana, but also in many parts of Rajasthan, New Delhi and the NCR regions. The raids are being carried out. The raids are being carried out in connection with the case that is pertaining to the terror acts being carried out by the gangsters in the country. These acts were being done by the gangsters who are sitting in the country, and many of those who were in Pakistan, Canada, Austria, Australia and many other countries. This case was initially registered by the NIA soon after multiple incidents of the gangster acts were reported, wherein some businessmen and the actors and other prominent personalities were killed by the terrorists in Punjab and other parts of the country. And now the raids are underway. We are being told that 51 is the number of locations that have been raided by the National Investigation Agency, and the raids have started at around 6:30 in the morning at many locations. The raids are underway across many states in the northern India where these gangsters are active, and now the search is on to find out the credible inputs that how these terrorist organizations were helping the gangsters and others to carry out acts of terror in Jammu and Kashmir, in Punjab and other parts including Rajasthan and NCR region.
All right, Gursimran bringing us the latest on these raids which are currently on in about 50 locations across North India. Thank you very much. You are watching Republic TV and this is the Morning Express. Still to come. Grilled for 9 hours, accused Manish Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again. And the UN chief, Antonio Guterres, is on a 2-day visit to India, set to meet the Prime Minister and the External Affairs Minister.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं
outside Rajghat, massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं.
We are right outside Rajghat, massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं.
We are right outside Rajghat, massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
And here's a quick recap of the top headlines at 8:30 this morning. Another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 labourers are shot dead in their sleep. Forces intensify the crackdown on terror hours after fresh targeted killings. An encounter is underway in Shopian. Anger over back-to-back targeted killings in the valley. India demands justice. The CBI refutes Manish Sisodia's claims, says interrogation as per allegations in the FIR and evidence collected. Grilled for 9 hours, Manish Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again. The UN Chief Antonio Guterres is on a 2-day visit to India, set to meet Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Well, the State Investigation Agency in Jammu and Kashmir is carrying out raids in Pulwama district of South Kashmir. These raids, of course, in the case of terror financing that is being investigated by the SIA. Do remember that about 2 or 3 weeks ago, there were raids that were carried out in this case that time too. Those, of course, were more targeted towards South Kashmir, including Anantnag, Shopian and Kulgam. Today's raids, of course, are being carried out in Pulwama. 2 locations in Pulwama are being raided. The SIA, of course, has been investigating terror financing and funding for terrorism that they believe has come from overseas. I think Gursimran is reporting on this. We're going to go across to him. All right, Gursimran now joins us live. Gursimran, give us more details about what these locations that are being raided are.
See, the 2 locations are being raided as we are being told by the top officials of the Jammu and Kashmir police. The raids have been started by the Special Investigation Agency, and these are in connection with the terror financing case that has led to many of the terror acts in the Kashmir Valley, especially the recent incidents where the terrorists are carrying out the targeted killings and the financing of these terrorists by the Pakistan-based terror outfits. How this entire modus operandi was working is on the radar of the security forces, and based on the intelligence input that was generated by the State Investigation Agency, the raids are being conducted along with the other agencies in the area. 2 locations, we are being told, in the South Kashmir, Pulwama, are presently being raided by the SIA, and other agencies too are part of these raids that are being conducted. There were credible inputs with the agencies that some of the locals residing in these 2 locations of Pulwama, they were into the terror financing and acts of terror, how they were harboring the terrorists in the area, after which the raids are being conducted. We are being told that they started at around 7 in the morning and the raids are continuing, and we can expect that in a short while from now there will be some more details be shared by the agency.
All right, Gursimran, thank you for that information. As Gursimran is pointing out, of course, we are awaiting agencies to share more details with us on that one. Thank you. Now, the 90th Interpol General Assembly is all set to begin today in New Delhi. Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate the meeting. India is hosting this meeting after a gap of 25 years.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the 90th Interpol General Assembly today in New Delhi's Pragati Maidan. It will be conducted from the 18th till the 21st of October and will be attended by 195 Interpol member countries. The General Assembly is Interpol's supreme governing body and meets once a year to take key decisions related to its functioning.
Organized crime networks are making billions of dollars, and the fact that less than 1% of global illicit financial flows are intercepted and recovered, or rather nearly 99% of stolen assets remain in criminal hands, should be of greater concern to everyone.
The meeting is taking place in India after a gap of about 25 years. It was last held in 1997. Meanwhile, Pakistani delegation has also registered to attend the 90th Interpol General Assembly. Ahead of the 90th General Assembly of Interpol, the Secretary General, Jürgen Stock, hailed India's role in the global operations of Interpol. Each member country may be represented by one or several delegates who are typically ministers, chiefs of police, heads of their Interpol National Central Bureaus and senior ministry officials. This comes as India's proposal to host the Interpol coincided with celebrations for the 75th year of India's independence.
The valedictory session would be conducted by Home Minister Amit Shah. It is important to point out here is that how exactly member nations like Russia, Ukraine and also countries like Pakistan, which would be attending, have their bilaterals on the sidelines of the Interpol. So all eyes would be also on those bilaterals that are going to take place.
Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia was grilled by CBI for nearly 9 hours in connection with the Delhi excise policy scam yesterday. While Manish Sisodia alleged that he was pressurized to quit the Aam Aadmi Party, the CBI has refuted his statement, saying that he was investigated as per law. The Aam Aadmi Party is also facing flack for likening Sisodia to Bhagat Singh. The family of the freedom fighter has spoken out.
Manish Sisodia was grilled for over 9 hours by the Central Bureau of Investigation yesterday in the Delhi excise policy scam. Manish Sisodia claimed that he was pressurized to leave the Aam Aadmi Party and that the investigation was only to make Operation Lotus successful in Delhi.
साइड में मुझ पे दबाव बनाया गया कि आप छोड़ दो, आप में क्यों हो? मैंने कहा क्यों? बोले ये केस आपके ऊपर ऐसे ही चलते रहेंगे, नहीं तो। मैंने कहा इस केस में तो है नहीं, ये तो खत्म हो जाएंगे। तो मुझे कहा गया कि साइड में कि सत्येंद्र जैन के पास कौन से केस हैं, सत्येंद्र जैन के ऊपर कौन से सच्चे केस हैं, वो भी चल रहे हैं। 6 महीने वो जेल रह सकते हैं तो 6 महीने आप भी रह सकते हो।
However, his attempts to ignite a fire was quickly doused by the CBI, which refuted his allegations. The CBI said that he was investigated as per allegations in the FIR and evidence collected so far during the course of investigation. The BJP was quick to hit back at Sisodia, alleging that it was Operation Non-Cooperation and Jashn-e-Bhrashtachar and that AAP was trying to convert vice into victory.
और आज ये अतिशयोक्ति नहीं होगी अगर ये कहा जाए कि ये जश्न भ्रष्टाचार है। दिस इज ऑलमोस्ट सेलिब्रेटिंग करप्शन। पहले तो भ्रष्टाचार कीजिए, दलाली कमाइए और उसके ऊपर जब आपसे पूछा जाए सवाल, जब आपसे सवाल पूछताछ किया जाए तो आप जश्न मनाइए।
The Aam Aadmi Party has said that he's like Bhagat Singh. He's likened him to Bhagat Singh. And the fact of the matter is that they're linking all of this to the Gujarat election, saying that only because the Aam Aadmi Party is making inroads into the state, that is the reason why he's being stopped by the Bharatiya Janata Party through the Central Bureau of Investigation. We're now given to understand that his statement is essentially going to be examined by the CBI, and only after the examination is over, a decision would be taken whether at all to call in Manish Sisodia once again for questioning.
Even Kejriwal's attempt to liken freedom fighter Bhagat Singh and Manish Sisodia drew a sharp criticism from Bhagat Singh's kin. Both the Congress and the BJP have demanded an apology from the Aam Aadmi Party for insulting freedom fighters.
All I can say is that someone like Bhagat Singh, who sacrificed his life for the freedom of this country at the age of 23, and all he wanted was prosperity and equity and justice for the people of this country. The thieves and the louts are being compared with Bhagat Singh. It's nothing but brazen shamelessness.
देखो, भगत सिंह के किसी की भी तुलना करनी जायज नहीं है, चाहे वो राजा वड़िंग क्यों ना हो, चाहे कोई और व्यक्ति क्यों ना हो। भगत सिंह थे। सिसोदिया साहब अच्छे व्यक्ति हो सकते हैं, केजरीवाल साहब अच्छे व्यक्ति हो सकते हैं, मान साहब अच्छे व्यक्ति हो सकते हैं, कोई और अच्छा व्यक्ति हो सकता है, लेकिन भगत सिंह से तुलना करना जायज नहीं है।
अरविंद केजरीवाल सेंसेशनल न्यूज पैदा करते हैं। वो उनको सेंसेशनल न्यूज कहां से बनती है और कहां से उनकी खबर ज्यादा चलती है। पगड़ी बांधने से कोई शहीद भगत सिंह नहीं हो जाता, शायद सिसोदिया जी को भी नहीं।
And as the liquor scam explodes, all eyes are on the CBI as it continues with its investigation. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, in a big boost to the cladding industry, a mega collaboration between Alstom and VM Zinc France is a step forward in revolutionizing the industry. Here's more.
The collaboration between Alstom and VM Zinc France seeks to revolutionize the cladding industry.
Today is a very big day for Alstom because today we are tying up with VM Zinc France, and in this collaboration we would be manufacturing zinc composite panel and zinc honeycomb panel with the collaboration of VM Zinc. And this is going to be a milestone for Elstone, and in coming years we see a very big market for zinc with the help of these architects and facade consultants.
Zinc as a cladding is less than 1% of the cladding material in India, being a green metal and lower carbon footprint in any production and building material.
You are with Republic TV, and coming up next, it's been yet another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 labourers are shot dead while they were sleeping. And forces intensify their crackdown on terror hours after fresh targeted killings and encounters underway in Shopian.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर, कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand. Security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर, कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand. Security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर, कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand. Security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive
cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं.
We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand.
Welcome back. You are watching Republic TV, and the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is in India for a two-day visit. This is his first visit to India during his second term in office that commenced in January this year.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres will arrive in India on an official visit from October 18th till the 20th.
Landing in Mumbai today, he would be addressing students of IIT on India's role in the United Nations in its 75th year of independence. And then he would also be paying respects to the martyrs of 26/11 terror attack at the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel. From there, he would be traveling to Gujarat, where he would be spending a couple of days, beginning with paying respects to Sardar Patel at the Statue of Unity. He would be soaking in the tourist destination now and understand the thought behind developing not just the Statue of Unity but the entire complex.
During his visit, the Secretary General will meet Prime Minister Modi as well as External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. He is set to take part in the event on India and UN partnership and will also participate in the launch of the Lifestyle for Environment mission. Guterres will also visit a model project site which has recently been declared India's first solar-powered village in Gujarat's Modhera. The Secretary General will then head off to Vietnam, where he will take part in a ceremony to commemorate the 45th anniversary of Vietnam's membership to the United Nations. Incidentally, this is Antonio Guterres' first visit to India since he commenced his second term in office in January 2022. He had earlier visited India in October 2018 during his first term. Agency report for Republic TV.
You are watching Republic TV, and up next, forces intensify their crackdown on terror hours after fresh targeted killings. Encounters currently underway in Shopian. And even as he's grilled for 9 hours, Manish Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim.
Manish Sisodia राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ तो बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ तो बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ तो बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas.
Welcome back. In a big boost to the cladding industry, a mega collaboration between Alstom and VM Zinc France is a step forward in revolutionizing this industry. Here's more.
The collaboration between Alstom and VM Zinc France seeks to revolutionize the cladding industry.
Today is a very big day for Alstom because today we are tying up with VM Zinc France, and in this collaboration we would be manufacturing zinc composite panel and zinc honeycomb panel with the collaboration of VM Zinc, and this is going to be a milestone for Alstom, and in coming years we see a very big market for zinc with the help of these architects and facade consultants.
Zinc as a cladding is less than 1% of the cladding material in India, being a green metal and lower carbon footprint in any production and building material.
Top international news this morning. UK's new Treasury Chief Jeremy Hunt reversed most of an economic package announced by the Liz Truss government just weeks ago, including a planned cut to income tax. In a bid to soothe turbulent financial markets, Hunt said that he was scrapping almost all the tax cuts announced last month and signalled public spending cuts are on the way. The UK's Treasury Secretary Jeremy Hunt told lawmakers that he was cancelling Truss's plan to reduce the basic rate of income tax by a percentage point and most of her other libertarian economic policies in a message aimed squarely at reassuring the financial markets. He said that Britain was a country that funds promises and pays debts. A Russian warplane crushed in a residential area in the port of Yeysk on the Sea of Azov after suffering engine failure on Monday. According to military officials, an Su-34 bomber came down after one of its engines caught fire during takeoff. Sources further asserted that both crew members bailed out safely, but the plane crashed into a residential area, causing a fire as tons of fuel exploded on impact. You are watching Republic TV, and coming up next, 3 days and yet another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 labourers are shot dead while they were sleeping. And a mega crackdown on criminal gangs. NIA raids across 50 locations.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर, कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर, कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
से थक गए सर? बताइए, क्वेश्चन बताइए सर, आपको समन किया जा रहा है। मनीष जी, बताइए सर, एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
Here are the headlines at 9 a.m. this morning. 3 days and yet another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 labourers shot dead in their sleep. Forces intensify crackdown on terror hours after fresh targeted killings. Encounter underway in Shopian. Anger over back-to-back Hindu killings in the valley. India demands justice. Mega crackdown on gangsters. NIA raids across 50 locations are now underway.
मुझे इस बात के लिए डराया जाए कि किसी तरह से मैं आप छोड़ने को तैयार हो जाऊं, मैं किसी तरह से बीजेपी में शामिल होने को तैयार हो जाऊं।
Grilled for 9 hours, accused number 1 Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again. UN Chief Antonio Guterres on a 2-day visit to India, set to meet Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. A very good morning. Thanks for tuning into Republic TV. You're watching live and breaking with me, Nivedna Prabhu. Starting off with our top focus at the moment, we're getting in news from Jammu and Kashmir, where the terrorist behind the third targeted killing in Shopian has been arrested. Now, the ADGP has informed that the terrorist lobbed grenade at the labourers. Now, this is the third targeted killing in the last 3 days. Now, this time around, in this incident, a pro-Pakistan terrorist targeted 2 labourers and they were shot dead in their sleep in yet another cowardly attack. On the other hand, in a parallel development, an encounter has now broken out in Shopian. So the latest, of course, being is that the terrorist Imran Bashir, behind the third attack in the past 3 days that we've been seeing from the valley, has now been arrested. Now, the ADGP has also informed that the terrorist lobbed grenade at the labourers. For more on this, we're cutting across to Zeenat, the Kashmir Bureau Chief, who's joining us live. Zeenat, give us more information about this encounter as well. On one hand, of course, the ADGP also confirmed that the terrorists lobbed grenade at the labourers, but also talking about the identity of these labourers and where exactly this incident took place. Could you shed light about the same?
See, as far as the encounter in Grand area of Shopian is concerned, it seems that the terrorists have managed to escape from an orchard, although the search operation continues near the spot. As far as the target killings are concerned, the 2 people, the 2 labourers, the non-local labourers who were targeted by the hybrid terrorist Imran Bashir Ganai, the hybrid terrorist of LET, has been arrested by Jammu and Kashmir police after he committed crime in Shopian of South Kashmir. He was arrested from South Kashmir itself. We can say that the case related to target killings have come to an end. As far as the search operation goes, it is still continuing. The dead body of the non-local laborers will be sent to the native place for the last rites. We are expecting LG Manoj Sinha to visit Shopian district today because there is a board meeting, and the meeting will go as per the plans. As far as we talk about the alertness in the Shopian after the killing was witnessed of the poor Christian Butt that happened 3 days back. Since then we have been seeing the police was on alert, but despite that the hybrid terrorists taking an advantage of night, taking advantage of darkness, lobbed grenade at the tin shed in which the non-local laborers were living there. They were living on rented accommodation. They received the splinter injuries, and finally they were declared brought dead by the hospital authorities at Shopian Hospital. This is all what is happening in the Shopian Valley. We are seeing the alert not only in Shopian but the adjoining districts of the Shopian. But as far as this case is concerned, this has been solved by the police because the killer is behind the bars. Investigation in the case is still on because police is still investigating the other angles of this case, because the hybrid terrorist who has been arrested is that he was not on police radar, but because of some sources the police was able to nab him, and finally in custody he confessed the crime of killing 2 non-local laborers.
All right. Zeenat, of course, talking about this entire incident as well, in terms of it being a challenge for the security forces also, considering the fact in the past 3 days, we've also seen how this is the 3rd incident coming out. It is definitely a challenge for the security forces to be combating with the same.
It is definitely a challenge, particularly challenges more when the terrorist takes advantage of darkness. So these killings also happened under when the people were sleeping. They were in slumber. Somewhere around 12:30 in the morning, the dead bodies were recovered from the tin shed, from the rented accommodation where these non-local laborers were working. They were actually the laborers. They were working in the orchard because this is the harvesting season, and they got their employment through one of the orchards here. They were earning their livelihood, but before they could not see the dawn as the terrorists targeted them by hurling a grenade. Terrorists lobbed grenade. He's been identified from the Lashkar outfit. We are seeing that the multiple coordinate search operations during the night before the police could pick up or identify this hybrid terrorist. We are seeing the non-stop CASOs being launched in other parts of the districts, because the way the anti-terror operations are being done in the Kashmir Valley, definitely the terrorist number has come down and also the recruitment has come down. That is being claimed by the J&K police, which doesn't go well with the people who support terrorism across those who are sitting across borders. So they are trying to give directions to the people in the Kashmir Valley that who to target, when to target and where to target. Police has constituted their own teams. Their teams who are working to track this chain of the terrorists or the hybrid terrorists. They try to bust the terror modules. Many of the hybrid terrorists or the active terrorists have also been arrested. Police along with the forces have taken during live encounters, they have taken the surrender of the terrorists as well.
Right, Zeenat. Continue to stay with us, Zeenat. I'll be back to you in a moment. But of course, we're getting reactions as well. Let's first listen into what Kavinder Gupta had to say.
मनीष कुमार और राम सागर जो बाहरी लेबर का काम करते थे यहाँ पर, आज उनकी हत्या किया जाना बहुत दुखद है। और इस प्रकार से जो लोग हमारे लिए काम करते हैं उन पर इस प्रकार से अटैक करना बिल्कुल गलत है। कहीं ना कहीं मुझे ये भी लगता है कि जिस प्रकार से हमारे लीडर्स जो कश्मीर में बैठे हैं उनकी जो स्टेटमेंट्स आती हैं उसके आधार पर भी इस चीज़ को अंजाम में लाया जाता है। ये गलत है। ऐसी स्टेटमेंट देना बंद करें, पाकिस्तान की वकालत करना बंद करें। इन सभी विषयों पर गहन चिंतन होना चाहिए। और जो लोग आज जो सुरक्षा बलों ने मेहनत के साथ कश्मीर में अमन चैन का दौर फिर से लाया है, लेकिन इस प्रकार की घटनाओं के साथ कहीं ना कहीं उसमें वादा आना स्वाभाविक बात है। तो इन चीज़ों को सीरियसली लेने की ज़रूरत है ताकि कोई इस प्रकार की घटनाओं को अंजाम ना दे सके। चिंता का विषय है और कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है कि जो भी लोग आज भी इन्वॉल्व हैं उसको ऐसे लोगों को ढूंढ करके उनका सर्च ऑपरेशन करके काम करने की ज़रूरत है।
Castrated by ISI, which has giving instructions to its underground workers in Kashmir Valley, and also by the irresponsible statements by the politicians like Dr. Farooq Abdullah making a statement yesterday and earlier Mehbooba Mufti ji making a statement earlier too. These sort of politicians who are making such statements give more, I would say, fuel to the fire of this terrorism in Kashmir Valley. They should realize that today, when the terrorism is on the wane from the 90s that it was, they have to come out openly against Pakistan and condemn ISI and its all these affiliates who are trying to do these targeted killings of the Hindus over there. If they don't, it shows that they are also hand in glove with them. It is these people who are giving basically tacit support to these terrorists over there, underground workers over there, and this has to be checked.
Well, Zina, thank you for getting us the latest inputs on that. But of course, with the fact that you have been, reporting continuously on this, there was a report that you had filed earlier regarding the targeted killings in Kashmir. Let's listen in.
This is the exact tin shed where the non-local laborers were sleeping in the evening, and then they were targeted early morning. This is the place where you can see that they have some bedding is lying here on the floor, and in fact some apple boxes too are lying on this floor. This is the very place where they were targeted by this hybrid terrorist who hurled grenade. My VJ is giving you the frame. These are the visuals from that very place, because this is the place as one can see the damage that has caused because of the grenade. So here these laborers were sleeping, and he lobbed a grenade from outside, and one can see the marks, the holes on these tin sheds. That was the cause of the caused injury, the splinter injuries. That is it. The blood is blood soaked. This bedding is again lying here on the floor. This is the visual of the place. So these are the exclusive visuals on the Republic, where you see the place there. This is the place where these non-locals from the UP who were working in the orchards in the Shopian, they used to come in the evening. This was their resting place. This place was they were living here on the rent, and the one who lobbed a grenade now has been arrested by the Shopian police. So you can see the bedding, the apple boxes, and also their clothes that belongs to the non-locals. There's all these things. Then you can see some utensils. So they were using this entire accommodation as a kitchen, as a resting place. The two laborers were sleeping here. Both of them had come from UP to earn their livelihood in Shopian of South Kashmir. But this time they became the target of the terrorists who are trying to disrupt the situation on ground. So this is the place, the exclusive visuals that we are beaming of the place where the terrorists targeted these non-locals, and this attack resulted into the killing of the two non-locals coming from the UP, and they got killed here. Now their bodies will be sent to their native place, and these laborers were sleeping here at this very place when the terrorists targeted by lobbing a grenade. So this is the scene at present, although there is a fair, quite well seen in the society here, because this is the season of the harvesting. That is why we are seeing the apple boxes are packed here, the packed apple boxes here, because they were also working in the orchard of apples. So one can see the apple boxes lying here on the floor. The police has already launched cordon and search operation at many places during nights, and in fact the gunshots were also exchanged just few meters away from this place, where the input coming is that the terrorists are still trapped in the apple orchard. So all this is coming at a time when there is an upper hand of security forces in the Kashmir Valley because of the kind of anti-terror operations they launched, the way the number of terrorists they are getting neutralized, and this definitely is not going well with the people staying across when they see that their people are getting neutralized in anti-terror operations and the police and the army are getting the human hint about the movement of terrorists.
Well, that was, of course, our Kashmir Bureau Chief Zeenat bringing us the latest from Shopian. This is, of course, in connection with the third targeted killing that we have been seeing in the valley. This is the third instance where two laborers from UP were shot at by pro-Pakistan terrorists. Also, on the other hand, of course, like the latest input being that Imran Bashir, the main accused, has been arrested. But we're also shifting focus to more breaking news that is coming in. Well, stoking fresh row, Congress's Persadi Lal Meena has now linked. Well, we have another breaking news that we're getting in where we're shifting focus to Bengaluru, where another life has been lost. Now, this is shocking news from Bengaluru, where a woman succumbed to injuries after she meets with an accident. She met with an accident trying to avoid a pothole. Woman had met with an accident yesterday, and the victim has been identified as 47-year-old Uma Devi. Now, the woman was riding pillion with her daughter. So, yet another shocking incident coming out of Bengaluru. We have constantly seen these visuals of potholes, especially during incessant rainfalls. But this time, once again, a life has been claimed due to the sheer negligence of the civic body, the BBMP, for not taking cognizance of the situation. In fact, you can see in this in the visuals as well, where the lack of responsibility has claimed yet another life in the IT hub of the country. Now, talking about this particular incident, she met with an accident while trying to avoid this pothole. Now, the victim has been identified as 47-year-old Uma Devi. Now, she was riding pillion with her daughter, is what we're understanding. So, once again, another pothole, another life that has been lost. But for more information on this, we're cutting across to Prajwal, who's joining us live from Bengaluru. Prajwal, a very good morning to you. But of course, this is shocking news that is coming in. Once again, we're seeing yet another life that has been lost due to a pothole. We do understand that she was riding pillion with her daughter and she's been identified as Uma Devi. But what are the other details that you can give us about this unfortunate incident that is coming out of Bengaluru?
Nivedna, in fact, Republic was there at the spot when this particular accident took place at 9:30 last morning. And since the accident, the woman and her child was, the woman and her daughter were admitted to the ESI hospital in Rajajinagar. But due to severe bleeding and a spinal injury, the 47-year-old victim, Uma Devi, could not be saved in this particular incident. But her daughter has escaped with minor injuries. The body is now gone for post-mortem and it will be handed over to the relatives at 10 this morning, is what the authorities have gone on to inform. And this stretch has been pretty notorious for accidents because of the potholes which has dotted the entire stretch from Oaklipuram till Sujatha Theatre and also moving towards the Rajajinagar 6th block signal 2. And therefore the BBMP had not woken up and had not filled these potholes despite repeated notices and raps by the High Court of Karnataka to the BBMP. And the BBMP Commissioner Tushar Girinath shockingly had stated that only after an investigation will the compensation be given. So we still don't understand as to what is the investigation needed over here, because it is the potholes which were responsible over there, because he went on and tried to avoid this particular road. She went on and tried to avoid this particular pothole over there, and in the process a speeding KSRTC bus rammed into her, whereas the daughter fell towards her left side, the mother fell towards the right, and therefore therefore the car passed on, the bus passed on one of her legs, and therefore the leg was severed, and therefore the doctors tried their best to save her life, but it was not possible now. And apart from that, we also get to understand that the cops have already taken the driver into custody here, and they have started an investigation. But all said and done, this particular road is also quite wide. It is over 80 feet in width, and therefore all the vehicles will be speeding on this particular road, and it is important impossible for them to control their speed, and those vehicles which are moving on the right will find it very difficult if a vehicle stops immediately. But due to the potholes, the two-wheelers are the ones who go on and suffer most of the damages here. And in the past 6 months, we have seen 17 pothole-related accidents, out of which 5 of them have been deaths as well. And this is something which the BBMP should take cognizance of. They should take note of this and make sure that such incidents will happen. And also, one more interesting aspect over here, Vietnam, is the fact that that the Bengaluru Development Minister is the Chief Minister himself, but he himself is burdened with so many portfolios that he has not been able to pay attention towards Bengaluru. So that is something which will have to be brought to notice, and maybe the CM should go on and make sure that he discharges his duties well too.
Right. Thank you, Prajwal, for pointing that out and, of course, getting us the latest information on this particular, incident where, of course, unfortunately, Uma Devi has succumbed to her injuries. Yet another pothole claiming another life in Bengaluru, the IT hub of the city. But moving on to more breaking news that we have coming in now. Stoking a fresh row, Congress's Prasadi Lal Meena has now linked Rahul Gandhi's Padyatra to Lord Ram. Now, Gehlot's Mantri likens Rahul to Lord Ram is what we're understanding. In fact, he compared Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram when he was in conversation with media personals. He went on to say that Gandhi was walking a longer distance as compared to Lord Ram, who travelled on foot from Ayodhya to present-day Sri Lanka. Now, at present, of course, Meena holds the health and excise portfolio in the Rajasthan government. So, of course, his statement over there creating, considering getting a lot of flack. Let's listen into what he had to say.
भी अच्छा इलेक्शन है, अच्छा रिजल्ट आएगा लोगों की इच्छा के अनुसार। निश्चित रूप से डेमोक्रेटिक तरीके से कांग्रेस में 22 साल बाद चुनाव हो रहा है, तो उसके नतीजे भी अच्छे आएंगे, अच्छी कांग्रेस मजबूत होगी। राहुल गांधी जी की जो पदयात्रा है, वो पदयात्रा ऐतिहासिक पदयात्रा होगी। भगवान राम भी अयोध्या से श्रृंखला रख तक पैदल गए थे, पर ये राहुल गांधी उससे भी ज़्यादा पैदल जाएंगे, कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक। इतिहास है, कोई आज तक गया ना कोई जाएगा। ये राहुल गांधी की ऐतिहासिक यात्रा। अच्छा इलेक्शन है, अच्छा रिजल्ट आएगा लोगों की इच्छा के अनुसार। निश्चित रूप से डेमोक्रेटिक तरीके से कांग्रेस में 22 साल बाद चुनाव हो रहा है, तो उसके नतीजे भी अच्छे आएंगे, अच्छी कांग्रेस मजबूत होगी। राहुल गांधी जी की जो पदयात्रा है, वो पदयात्रा ऐतिहासिक पदयात्रा होगी। भगवान राम भी अयोध्या से श्रृंखला रख तक पैदल गए थे, पर ये राहुल गांधी उससे भी ज़्यादा पैदल जाएंगे, कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक। इतिहास है, कोई आज तक गया ना कोई जाएगा। ये राहुल गांधी की ऐतिहासिक यात्रा।
Well, that was, of course, Prasadi Lal Meena's statement that he's speaking about Rahul Gandhi here and likened Rahul Gandhi's Padyatra to Lord Ram. We have Anuj joining us live. Anuj, good morning. What are the latest reactions that we're getting about this particular statement? Of course, receiving a lot of flack as well. But over to you to give us the latest details about this.
Well, this is Prasadi Lal Meena of the Congress Party who has again sparked the controversy, and this is not the first time when the Congress Party is coming out with such kind of line. And now this is the Congress Party worker and the Congress Party leader, I should say, who is comparing Rahul Gandhi with Lord Ram and saying that he is going to go that much way where even Lord Ram has not travelled, because he travelled from Ayodhya to Sri Lanka and Rahul Gandhi will be travelling from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. That's something what has been stated by Prasadi Lal Meena. So this is going to be again controversial remark, and BJP obviously is going to hit hard on the same. Till now there is no specification from the Congress Party why these lines has been used, but if we talk about this Padyatra of which Prasadi Lal Meena is talking about, that is called Bharat Jodo Yatra of the Congress Party, and this is again being in controversy since it started. Being it Rahul Gandhi who is meeting with the hate preachers, and being it Rahul Gandhi coming in from the different areas under this particular Bharat Jodo Yatra. So this is again becoming a controversy when this has been related to this particular yatra. This is Prasadi Lal Meena of the Congress Party from Rajasthan who is coming out with such kind of line. This is to wait and watch what exactly will be the reaction of the Congress Party. But this is not the first time when the Congress Party is coming out with such kind of line. Earlier we do remember Rahul Gandhi was called Janay Udhari. We have seen sometime Rahul Gandhi and the Congress Party has stated that we are the party of Muslim. So this is something which is never new in the Congress Party, but although we are waiting for the reaction from the Bharatiya Janata Party also, as we have seen it earlier in the attacking mode, whenever such kind of comment comes out. But this is again going to be a bigger controversy because this time again the Congress Party leader has compared Rahul Gandhi and comparing the things which has been done by Lord Ram, the travel he has done, and comparing it with Rahul Gandhi that he is going to travel from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. That is something what has been stated by Prasadi Lal Meena. So we are waiting for the response from the Bharatiya Janata Party, but this is again a big controversy by the Congress Party from the Congress Party side and the Congress Party leader. Yes, back to you.
Well, Anuj, when he was, of course, making this statement, he was addressing media personnel as well. But, you know, from the Congress Party, has anyone also, you know, kind of had similar views of this particular statement? Like you pointed out, of course, the BJP is yet to react on this. But on the other front, the question that I put out, any information on that?
Well, till now there is no reaction from the Congress Party that what exactly, in what context this has been stated. Is this the party line or is this the personal view of a particular leader? But we do remember that this is not the first time when the Congress Party is coming out with such kind of line. Sometime giving the communal angle, sometime targeting the army chiefs. That has been the history of the Congress Party. We have seen the Congress Party leadership targeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, disrespecting the chair. Other than that, we have seen targeting the forces where a Congress leader earlier in the past has called army chief a gali ka gunda, and we have seen how the communal angle has been given. As I told you that earlier, this was the line which was taken by the Congress Party that Rahul Gandhi is Janeyu Dhari. Later, this was in the Congress Party meeting after Rahul Gandhi met with a Muslim delegation and the like-minded delegation there. It was stated we are the party of the Muslims. So these kind of communal angle has been taken by the Congress Party, and such kind of lines is never new with the Congress Party. So we are waiting for the update if the Congress Party senior leadership is going to come out with any kind of clarification that what exactly this particular lines means, and comparing Rahul Gandhi
Anuj,
with Lord Ram.
Stay with us. We have Gulab Chand Kataria also joining us on the broadcast. Gulab Chand Kataria, thank you so much for talking to Republic TV. Your initial reactions about this particular statement that is coming in.
वो क्या है कि प्रसादी लाल मीणा यहाँ राजस्थान के मंत्री हैं, स्वास्थ्य मंत्री हैं, और उनकी अपने पार्टी के नेता के प्रति हमदर्दी हो, ये तो किसी को भी अच्छी लगती, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। लेकिन मैं सोचता हूँ कि राहुल गांधी को भगवान राम से तुलना करना और राम से भी लंबी यात्रा करने वाले शब्दों का प्रयोग करना, मैं सोचता हूँ कि एक तरह से उन्होंने अपनी सीमा से बाहर निकल करके अपने नेता की चमचागिरी करने की पराकाष्ठा कर दी। और मैं सोचता हूं कि राम से राहुल की तुलना करना जिस प्रकार की घटिया मानसिकता का परिचायक है, मैं सोचता हूं जो जिंदगी भर तक राम को गालियां देते रहे, जिन्होंने राम मंदिर के निर्माण में अटकरी करते रहे, जो हमारे अयोध्या की अगर हम कार सेवा में जाते थे तो हमारी मजाक बनाया करते थे, जो राम सेतु को काल्पनिक बातें कहा करते थे, ऐसे लोग और ऐसी पार्टी आज अगर राम के साथ तुलना करे और कहे कि राम से भी लंबी यात्रा वो कर रहे हैं, वो यात्रा करे, बहुत अच्छी बात है, वो अपने नेता की तारीफ करे, बहुत अच्छी बात है। लेकिन इस घटिया किस्म का है ना, राहुल गांधी को राम जी से तुलना करना, मैं सोचता हूँ ये देश का दुर्भाग्य है और उस पार्टी का भी दुर्भाग्य है जो किस प्रकार की शब्दों का प्रयोग करते हैं। ये उनको भी भान नहीं है, चमचागिरी की भी पराकाष्ठा होती है, उसकी भी अपनी एक सीमा होती है, तो सीमा लांघ गया।
Well, thank you, Gulab Chand Kataria, for talking to Republic TV on this particular development. But we're slipping into a short break. Lots more lined up on the other side. Grilled for 9 hours, accused number 1, Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again. And still to come, UN Chief Antonio Guterres on a 2-day visit to India, set to meet Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar. Stay tuned to Republic TV. We'll get you the latest on that after a short break.
Congress Party leader from Rajasthan, Prasadi Lal Meena, has sparked a controversy comparing Rahul Gandhi with Lord Ram. Lots more to come after a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters.
Top headlines at 9:30. 3 days and yet another cowardly attack in J&K. 2 laborers shot dead in their sleep. Forces intensify crackdown on terror hours after fresh targeted killings. Encounter underway in Shopian. Anger over back-to-back Hindu killings in J&K. India demands justice for the deceased. Mega crackdown on gangsters. NI raids across 50 locations now underway.
मुझे इस बात के लिए डराया जाए कि किसी तरह से मैं आप छोड़ने को तैयार हो जाऊं, मैं किसी तरह से बीजेपी में शामिल होने को तैयार हो जाऊं.
Grilled for 9 hours, accused number 1 Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again. UN Chief Antonio Guterres on a 2-day visit to India set to meet the Prime Minister and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. for tuning in. You're watching Republic. It's live and breaking. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Lots lined up for you in this edition. First up, starting with breaking news coming in from UP. And a news break coming in of a PFI activist who's been arrested by a team of anti-terrorist squad and local police in UP. We understand that the PFI activist was an active worker of the organization. He was later produced in court and has now been sent to 14 days of judicial custody. So a big crackdown on the PFI workers, which continues. During the interrogation, the PFI activist told the police that he had attended several meetings of the PFI, knew a number of people who had been arrested by the ATS earlier. We are getting a reaction as well of the police official. Let's listen in.
कोतवाली थाना क्षेत्र का मामला है। नासिर कमाल सनाफ अबुल असर है। ये प्रेमा राय मोहल्ले का रहने वाला है, कोतवाली का। इसको ये एटीएस के टारगेट पे था। एटीएस इस पे काम कर रही थी। उनके सूचना पे हम लोगों ने इसको पकड़ा था और इसका डिटेल इंट्रोगेशन हुआ। इसने खुद स्वीकार किया कि इसका संबंध पीएफआई से रहा है और पीएफआई की मीटिंगें अटेंड करता रहा है। अभी पीएफआई के लिए इसने क्या कार्य किया, इस पे काम हो रहा है, इस पे जानकारी की जा रही है। और ये पाया गया कि ये अभी मेरा ख्याल है बिगिनर था, अभी जाना इसने शुरू किया था और मस्जिद में इसकी मीटिंगें इन्होंने कई बार अटेंड किया, ऐसा उसने बताया था। इसको 14 दिन के लिए जेल भेजा गया है और जांच जारी है।
And Harsha reporting live from the national capital. Harsha, good morning. Give us more details of the PFI activist who's been arrested and has now been sent to judicial custody.
Samiksha, we are getting to know that since the PFI has been banned for 5 years under the stringent UAPA Act, and since the time we saw that before it was banned, how NIA, ATS and the local police conducted raid at the different locations of PFI members, after which PFI organization was banned for 5 years. Now we are getting to know that in the UP police in Uttar Pradesh, ATS from Azamgarh, they were continuously trying to track the PFI member who were not been arrested, but were continuously in touch with the PFI members who were arrested and also were linked with the several activities which PFI was involved in earlier. In that context only, Azamgarh, ATS and the local police of Uttar Pradesh Mau have arrested this Nasir Kamal, who is told to be the resident of Prema Rai locality in Mau, and he has been sent to 14 days judicial custody. How many meetings of PFI has he attended? How many senior leaders and those who have been arrested? What sort of work were given by those members to Nasir Kamal? In what sort of activities they were involved, and how many more members from masjid, from university or from schools, how many members he has made through his links? All the details are the part of investigation and interrogation with the UP ATS police and the local police will be doing with Nasir Kamal, as he has been sent to 14 days judicial custody. But this is a very big crackdown which is coming in from Mau, because we have saw how PFI and the organization which were linked to PFI, they were banned for 5 years because they were involved in criminal activities. Back to you, Samiksha.
All right, Harsha, thank you for the moment. So that's the update coming in. We'll keep coming back to you if any updates on that, but that's the latest. PFI activist who's been sent to judicial custody of 14 days. For now, moving on to more breaking news. Coming in, this one in relation to the NIA raids which are underway in North India. The first visuals coming in from Bhatinda, where the NIA crackdown is taking place. So a mega NIA crackdown on the gangsters, which is underway. We are told that over 50 locations are currently being raided by the NIA in North India, which includes states Punjab, which includes which includes several locations, including Chandigarh and Bhatinda. And those are the visuals coming in from Bhatinda, where the NIA raids are underway. We'll go across to Amandeep as well for more on that, but that's the update coming in. We are getting to know that it's a crackdown on the gangsters. The NIA investigation has revealed that such criminal acts were not isolated and local incident, but there was a deep-rooted conspiracy among terrorists and gangsters and drug smuggling cartels. Amandeep also joining us live. Amandeep, give us more updates on the NIA raids which are underway in Bhatinda.
Well, Ramesh, this raid is basically to crack down the nexus of the terror funding in Punjab specifically as well, and that is the reason 9 locations in Punjab and in fact among 51 across India has been raided by NIA, and specifically they are trying to break down the nexus of the funding that is happening from abroad to carry out certain kinds of anti-national activities in Punjab and the different parts of the country as well. And Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, these are the locations that has been raided. And specifically, if we talk about Bathinda, there is Jagga Chandia, who is a committee organizer, and his residence has been raided by NIA with the suspect that he is being received funds from the abroad to carry out certain kind of anti-national activities here in Punjab as well, and that is the reason his residence has been raided. And now there is around 25 NIA officials are conducting the searches at the house.
Of Jagga Jandia and certain other locations, including Jajjar, Gurgaon, and certain other locations are being reduced. Basically, the motive is that there is a gangster nexus that has been spread in Punjab, and they are getting the financial support from abroad, including Pakistan, Canada, Germany, UK, Spain, and certain other countries. And their all motive is to carry out the anti-national activities in Punjab, and that is the reason this chain is getting bigger, and they are getting very strong funds from abroad. And even the most important point in this entire investigation part is that pro-Khalistani elements who are backed by ISI and presently sitting in Pakistan, even they are involved in sponsoring these kind of terrors in Punjab as well. And that is the reason NIA has been initiated this investigation, and the raids are being continuously conducted in Punjab as well. And Samiksha, this is the second round of the raids. Earlier, there are certain gangsters whose house has been raided by the NIA. Certain kind of documents has been seized from Punjab, Chandigarh and Haryana. And on the basis of the documents, on the basis of this evidence, further these raids are being conducted.
All right, Amandeep, thank you for the moment. We'll keep coming back to you for more on that. So the first visuals that are coming in from Bathinda of the NIA raids, which are underway. And on to a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country. Another incident of targeted killing that's been reported from Shopian. 2 non-local labourers were killed by terrorists while they were sleeping in J&K Shopian district. This comes hours after more killings prediction was made by Farooq Abdullah. Following the cowardly attack on 2 non-local labourers, terrorist Imran Bashir, who had lobbed grenade, has now been arrested as per the ADGP of Kashmir. The terrorist, this comes just after the targeted killing of Puran Bhatt, which sparked mega protests in J&K. Hours after the targeted killing, Shopian police launched anti-terror operation in Shopian. An encounter is underway in Shopian. As we speak, this comes after 2 non-local labourers were shot dead by the terrorists in Shopian. A day after summons by CBI, accused number 1 Manish Sisodia cries foul, said CBI questioning was not on excise policy, but to force him to join the BJP. Meanwhile, also Sisodia also made it about the Gujarat polls.
सीबीआई का ईडी का जितना दुरुपयोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर रही है वो अब सबको पता है। पूरी सीबीआई और ईडी को उन्होंने केवल और केवल राजनीतिक मशीन बना के रख दिया है। ये किसी से छुपा नहीं है आज। तो सीबीआई के ऑफिसर्स ऑफ कोर्स सरप्राइज होगा लोगों को अगर सीबीआई प्रेस रिलीज जारी करेगी, हाँ जी हमने ऑपरेशन लोटस किया था, लेकिन एक्साइज पॉलिसी पे कहीं फोकस नहीं है। एक्साइज पॉलिसी में कहीं कोई करप्शन नहीं है, एक्साइज पॉलिसी में कहीं कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है उनको। ये बात कल की पूछताछ से ये और साबित हो गई मेरे सामने कि सब पूरी तरह से फर्जी मनगढ़ंत कहानियां बनाई हुई हैं। लेकिन ओवरऑल कल का मुझे बुलाने का मकसद वहाँ यही था कि मुझे इस बात के लिए डराया जाए कि किसी तरह से मैं आप छोड़ने को तैयार हो जाऊं, मैं किसी तरह से बीजेपी में शामिल होने को तैयार हो जाऊं। मैंने साफ साफ कह दिया भारतीय जनता पार्टी इतनी गंदी पार्टी है कि इसमें शामिल होना अपने आप को खत्म करना है, अपनी आत्मा को मारना है।
Calling out accused number 1 Manish Sisodia, the CBI has refuted Sisodia's claim of being pressurized to leave AAP and join the BJP. CBI stated the interrogation was done as per allegations in FIR and the evidence collected. India is all set to host 90th Interpol General Assembly in the national capital. The meeting is taking place in the country after a gap of about 25 years, which was last held in 1997. The United Nations chief will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar during the two-day visit. Guterres, who will be in India from today till the 20th, will participate in the launch of Lifestyle for Environment mission. Shiv Sena Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Raut's judicial custody is set to end today. Raut will be produced before the special PMLA court today in the Patra Chaul scam case. The Delhi High Court will pronounce order on the bail of Umar Khalid today. Remember, Khalid argued that neither did he have a criminal role in the violence in the northeast Delhi nor any conspirational connect with the other accused in the case. Russian warplane crashed in southern Russian town. The tragic crash claimed lives of 3 people while more than 20 were injured. A very short break. Lots on the other side. Anger over back-to-back Hindu killings in the valley. India demands justice. Grilled for over 9 hours, accused number 1, Sisodia, repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh. मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh. मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
getting in more news break after the Congress Rajasthan ministers took the controversy after he likened Rahul Gandhi's Pad Yatra to Lord Ram. BJP has now hit back, saying that same Congress which until some time back was even denying the existence of Lord Ram and opposed Ram Mandir is now comparing Rahul to Lord Ram. Shameful people cut from same cloth. That's the remark coming in from the BJP. So the latter hitting back at the Congress over the Rajasthan minister's controversial remarks. Let's listen into that reaction as well coming in from the BJP.
Congress's minister in Rajasthan, Parsadi Lal Meena, has compared Rahul Gandhi to Shri Ram, and the journey taken by Shri Ramji from Lanka to Ayodhya has been compared to the Vote Jodo Yatra of Rahul Gandhi from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Is the Congress party comparing and linking Kanyakumari to Sri Lanka? And is the Congress party now trying to draw an analogy between Shri Ram and Rahul Gandhi, the same Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party who abuse and insult Hindutva, who link Hindus with terror? They say Hindu terror, saffron terror, Hindutva is like ISIS and Boko Haram, and who have even denied the existence of Sri Ram and have opposed the Ram Mandir. Today, that person who belongs to a Rome Mansikta, a Mansikta of Tushtikaran, is being compared with those who have Ram Mansikta, who have Mansikta for Ramji. This kind of analogy is being drawn by other parties also, like the Aam Aadmi Party, who are cut from the same cloth as the Congress party. You would remember that how a Bhrashtachari, Manish Sisodia, is being compared to Bhagat Singh ji, how Tahir Hussain and others who are in jail have been compared to Kanha ji, and Mr. Kejriwal has compared himself also to Kanha, and now Rahul Gandhi is being compared to Prabhu Shri Ram. This shows the mindset of the Congress party and the parties like Aam Aadmi Party, where they draw such analogies, and those who are now indulging in vote bank politics are now suddenly, because it's election.
We'll slip into a very short break, but on the other side we'll continue with our coverage and news breaks and more reactions that are coming in on the bizarre analogy drawn by the Rajasthan minister.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. कुछ बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as he followed the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर यू वांट टू से समथिंग सर बताइए कुछ तो बताइए सर आपको समन किया जा रहा है सर कुछ तो बताइए सर एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police.
And roundup from the world of sports, former AC Milan and Chelsea striker Andriy Shevchenko spoke about the Russian invasion of Ukraine as he remembered the war is still on during the Belano Awards.
Very difficult moment since the war started for all Ukrainian people. I'm so proud so how my country defend and fight for the freedom. I've been very involved in a lot of humanitarian and medical aid project together with United 24 fundraising platform. Funder is President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky.
Karim Benzema won the men's Ballon d'Or for the first time after a brilliant session with Real Madrid, capped by Champions League and Spanish League titles. The 34-year-old Benzema and had his best season ever at Madrid after the top scorer in both leagues. A few hours after scoring the winning goal in Paris Saint-Germain's victory over Marseille in the French League, Neymar Jr. arrived in court in Barcelona to face a trial for alleged irregularities involving his transfer from Brazilian side Santos to Spanish club FC Barcelona in 2013. A very short break. Lots on the other side. Anger over back-to-back Hindu killings in Valley. India demands justice. Grilled for 9 hours, accused number 1 Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as he followed the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर यू वांट टू से समथिंग सर बताइए कुछ तो बताइए सर आपको समन किया जा रहा है सर कुछ तो बताइए सर एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh. मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। मनीष जी, बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh. मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। मनीष जी, बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल।
Will new tech change the game for news? India's biggest news media conclave.
Yet another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 labourers are shot dead while they were sleeping. Anger over back-to-back killings in the valley. India demands justice. Mega crackdown on gangsters. NIA raids across 50 locations are now underway. Grilled for over 9 hours, Manish Sisodia repeats the Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls.
भी अयोध्या से श्रृंखला तक पैदल गए थे, पर ये राहुल गांधी उससे भी ज्यादा पैदल जाएंगे कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक।
The Gujarat minister likens Rahul Gandhi's Padyatra to Lord Ram, stokes a fresh row. The BJP hits out at the Congress party, says didn't believe in Ram Mandir, now compares Rahul to Lord Ram. Well, 3 days and 3 targeted killings in Kashmir, but even as India asks how much more, politics over the killings is continuing in the valley. Former minister from Jammu and Kashmir and senior Congress leader Yogesh Sahani has now targeted the centre over the killing of civilians in South Kashmir.
It's very unfortunate कि भी आज सुबह ही कश्मीर के अंदर वहीं सिपाहियों में जहाँ पहले भी हमारे कश्मीरी पंडित भाइयों का बेरहमी से मिलिटेंटों द्वारा कत्ल किया गया, मारा गया, तो शहीद किया गया। आज भी सुबह जब जो लेबर जो थे बेचारे यूपी के जो 2 लोग वो सोए हुए थे तो उनको मिलिटेंटों ने आज शहीद कर दिया है। ये बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट है कि सरकार से अभी तक ये संभला नहीं जा रहा, खास करके शोपियां का इलाका, जबकि पता है कि बार बार वहीं पे किलिंग हो रही है और सिक्योरिटी इंतजाम मुझे लगता है कि भी सरकार सोई हुई है और ये सरकार जो किलिंग जो हो रही है इसके लिए सरकार दोषी है और होम मिनिस्टर दोषी है और हम चाहते हैं कि इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए कि क्यों बार बार शोपियां जैसे इलाके में ही हिंदुओं की और पोलिटिकल टारगेट जो किलिंग हो रही है वो बंद होनी चाहिए और सरकार को इसकी इंक्वायरी करानी चाहिए और दोषियों को पकड़कर जल्द से जल्द उनको सजा देना चाहिए। इससे लगता है कि सरकार फेल हो चुकी है लॉ एंड ऑर्डर में, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की स्थिति इनसे बेकाबू हो चुकी है और यहाँ चाहिए कि गवर्नर साहब को चेंज किया जाए और यहाँ पॉपुलर सरकार लाए जो लोगों की बातों को सुने और समझे और उनके काम करे।
Well, the security administration as well as the centre under fire over there over these targeted killings that are taking place in the valley. In fact, Gursimran is reporting on this. He's in Jammu. Gursimran, to begin with, we are given to understand that there is, of course, considerable anger amongst people. I think we've also got Zeenath with us on the phone line. First, let's go across to Zeenath right now. Zeenath, give us an update on the encounter that was on a while ago in Shopian.
Nupur, as far as the exchange of gunshots between the terrorists and security forces in Shopian is concerned, the operation is over as the terrorists have escaped from the spot. This was an encounter. The exchange of fire was reported from Orchard in Gehend village of Shopian, where terrorists taking an advantage of open fields managed their escape. In fact, the reinforcement was rushed, but now the operation has been concluded by the security forces after terrorists managed to escape from the spot. As far as the killing of the lone local goes, that two non-locals coming from the UP working in the orchards of Kashmir and targeted by the hybrid terrorists today in the morning. The hybrid terrorists have been arrested by the Shopian police and the investigation is on.
All right, Zeenath, of course, is updating us on the security situation currently. We're going to try and get Gursimran also. All right, he's going to be just joining us. But, Zeenath, there has been considerable anger amongst the Hindu community over there over what they say are targeted killings. But also, is this being seen as an attempt perhaps to stop the development work that's on in Jammu and Kashmir? Because the targeted killings that have taken place essentially are targeting, soft targets, because these were laborers who were living in a tin shed. We saw your report earlier in the morning.
See, Nupur, as far as the target killings, the cases of target killings goes, around now 20 people have lost their life in more than 1 year, because all this target class killing started last year in October when chemist Emil Bindru became the first one among the list of targeted killings in the Kashmir Valley. And since then we are saying that the terrorists are picking the soft and the vulnerable targets, those who are usually ill, who are not equipped with any weapon, or the policemen who had gone home, who is off duty, they are being targeted. As far as the vulnerability is concerned, yes, they are choosing the soft targets, but then we see the morale or the alertness or the way the anti-terror operations being launched by the security forces, neutralizing the terrorists without the collateral damage. This is a success to the forces, but it doesn't go well with the policies of Pakistan, who want that Kashmir, the pot should keep burning when the security forces are giving the befitting reply to those elements. Then they try to choose these vulnerable targets who are ill-equipped or with no weapon, or the one somebody is sleeping and then you lobbed a grenade outside and then they lose their lives. So definitely the police has to look into their security angles. They have to recheck their security situation so that such killings are not repeated, whether it is Shopian or any district of the Kashmir Valley.
Oh yes, absolutely. Zina, do stay with us. But there is criticism coming in from political parties over these targeted killings. Let's listen into one of these reactions.
It's very unfortunate कि भी आज सुबह ही कश्मीर के अंदर वहीं शोपियां में जहाँ पहले भी हमारे कश्मीरी पंडित भाइयों का बेरहमी से मिलिटेंटों द्वारा कत्ल किया गया, मारा गया, तो शहीद किया गया। आज भी सुबह जब जो लेबर जो थे बेचारे यूपी के जो दो लोग वो सोए हुए थे, तो उनको मिलिटेंटों ने आज शहीद कर दिया है। ये बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट है कि सरकार से अभी तक ये संभला नहीं जा रहा, खास करके शोपियां का इलाका, जबकि पता है कि बार बार वहीं पे किलिंग हो रही है और सिक्योरिटी इंतजाम मुझे लगता है कि भी सरकार सोई हुई है और ये सरकार जो किलिंग जो हो रही है इसके लिए सरकार दोषी है और होम मिनिस्टर दोषी है। और हम चाहते हैं कि इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए कि क्यों बार बार शोपियां जैसे इलाके में ही हिंदुओं की और पोलिटिकल टारगेट जो किलिंग हो रही है वो बंद होनी चाहिए। सरकार को इसकी इंक्वायरी करानी चाहिए और दोषियों को पकड़कर जल्द से जल्द उनको सजा देना चाहिए। इससे लगता है कि सरकार फेल हो चुकी है लॉ एंड ऑर्डर में। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की स्थिति इनसे बेकाबू हो चुकी है और यहाँ चाहिए कि गवर्नर साहब को चेंज किया जाए और यहाँ पॉपुलर सरकार लाए जो लोगों की बातों को सुने और समझे और उनके काम करे।
Well, in fact, Zinat sent us this report earlier this morning. She was on the spot where these killings took place.
Where the non-local laborers were sleeping in the evening, and then they were targeted early morning. This is the place where you can see that they have some bedding is lying here on the floor, and in fact some apple boxes too are lying on this floor. This is the very place where they were targeted by this hybrid terrorist who hurled grenade. My VJ is giving you the frame. These are the visuals from that very place, because this is the place as one can see the damage that has caused because of the grenade. So here these laborers were sleeping, and he lobbed a grenade from outside, and one can see the marks, the holes on these tin sheds. That was the cause of the caused injury, the splinter injuries. That is it. The blood is the blood soaked. This bedding is again lying here on the floor. This is the visual of the place. So these are the exclusive visuals on the Republic, where you see the place there. This is the place where these non-locals from the UP who were working in the orchards in the Shopian, they used to come in the evening. This was their resting place. This place was they were living here on the rent, and the one who lobbed a grenade now has been arrested by the Shopian police. So you can see the bedding, the apple boxes, and also their clothes that belongs to the non-locals. There's all these things. Then you can see some utensils. So they were not all. They were using this entire accommodation as a kitchen, as a resting place. The two laborers were sleeping here. Both of them had come from UP to earn their livelihood in Shopian of South Kashmir. But this time they became the target of the terrorists who are trying to disrupt the situation on ground. So this is the place, the exclusive visuals that we are beaming of the place where the terrorists targeted these non-locals, and this attack resulted into the killing of the two non-locals coming from the UP, and they got killed here. Now their bodies will be sent to their native place, and these laborers were sleeping here at this very place when the terrorists targeted by lobbing a grenade. So this is the scene at present, although there is a fair, quite seen, well seen in the society here, because this is the season of the harvesting. That is why we are seeing the apple boxes are packed here, the packed apple boxes here, because they were also working in the orchard of apples. So one can see the apple boxes lying here on the floor. The police has already launched cordon and search operation at many places during nights, and in fact the gunshots were also exchanged just few meters away from this place, where the input coming is that the terrorists are still trapped in the apple orchard. So all this is coming at a time when there is an upper hand of security forces in the Kashmir Valley because of the kind of anti-terror operations they launched, the way the number of terrorists they are getting neutralized, and this definitely is not going well with the people staying across when they see that their people are getting neutralized in anti-terror operations, and the police and the army are getting the humor about the movement of terrorists.
All right, so that was the place where this incident actually took place. Zenith was bringing us this report, but there is considerable political criticism coming into these targeted killings. And here's a look at what else is making news this morning. Another incident of a targeted killing in Kashmir was reported when two non-local labourers were killed by terrorists while they were sleeping in Jammu and Kashmir's Shopian district. This comes hours after more killing predictions in the valley. Following the cowardly attack on two non-local labourers, hybrid terrorist Imran Bashir Ghani, who lobbed the grenade, has been arrested as per the ADGP of Kashmir. This comes just after the targeted killing of Puran Bhatt, which sparked massive protests. Hours after the targeted killing, Shopian's police launched anti-terror operations in Shopian and encounters underway in the area now. This comes after the two labourers were killed by terrorists. A day after summons by the CBI, Manish Sisodia has continued to cry foul, saying that the CBI questioning was not on the excise policy, but to force him to join the BJP. He's also spoken about the Gujarat polls and his questioning.
सीबीआई का ईडी का जितना दुरुपयोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर रही है वो अब सबको पता है। पूरी सीबीआई और ईडी को उन्होंने केवल और केवल राजनीतिक मशीन बना के रख दिया है। ये किसी से छुपा नहीं है आज। तो सीबीआई के ऑफिसर्स ऑफ कोर्स सरप्राइज होगा लोगों को अगर सीबीआई प्रेस रिलीज जारी करेगी, हाँ जी हमने ऑपरेशन लोटस किया था, लेकिन एक्साइज पॉलिसी पे कहीं फोकस नहीं है। एक्साइज पॉलिसी में कहीं कोई करप्शन नहीं है, एक्साइज पॉलिसी में कहीं कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है उनको। ये बात कल की पूछताछ से ये और साबित हो गई मेरे सामने कि सब पूरी तरह से फर्जी मनगढ़ंत कहानियाँ बनाई हुई हैं। लेकिन ओवरऑल कल का मुझे बुलाने का मकसद वहाँ यही था कि मुझे इस बात के लिए डराया जाए कि किसी तरह से मैं आप छोड़ने को तैयार हो जाऊं, मैं किसी तरह से बीजेपी में शामिल होने को तैयार हो जाऊं। मैंने साफ साफ कह दिया, भारतीय जनता पार्टी इतनी गंदी पार्टी है कि इसमें शामिल होना अपने आप को खत्म करना है, अपनी आत्मा को मारना है।
Calling out Manish Sisodia, the CBI refuted Sisodia's claim of being pressurized to leave the Aam Aadmi Party and join the BJP. The CBI has said that the interrogation was done as per allegations in the FIR and the evidence that had been collected. India is all set to host the 90th Interpol General Assembly in New Delhi. The meeting is taking place in India after a gap of 25 years and was last held in 1997. The UN Chief Antonio Guterres will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar during his two-day visit to India. Guterres will be in India from the 18th to the 20th of October. The Shiv Sena Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Raut's judicial custody will end today. Raut will be produced before the special PMLA court today in the Patra Chaul scam case. The Delhi High Court will pronounce its order on the bail of Umar Khalid. Khalid argued that neither did he have a criminal role in the violence in northeast Delhi nor any conspiratorial connect with the accused in the case. The Russian warplane crashed into southern Russia town of Yeysk. The tragic crash claimed the lives of 3 people while more than 20 were injured. Well, it appears that India's best wrestlers will not be able to participate in the Under-23 World Wrestling Championships in Pontevedra, Spain, as the Spanish embassy has rejected the visa applications for majority of them. This has been confirmed by the Wrestling Federation of India. Only 9 wrestlers have actually been given visas. As many as 21 wrestlers will be missing out on this tournament. The tournament was to be held from the 17th to the 22nd. Now, the National Federation, of course, has said that it will write to the United World Wrestling, the global body of the sport, and request them to not give Spain hosting rights for any future tournaments. So, the Indian government, of course, is also expected to perhaps speak to Spain about this. About 30 wrestlers had actually applied for visas for this tournament. Only about 9 of them were given visas. We are still, of course, awaiting for an official comment to come in from Spain in terms of why this happened. Now, we are given to understand that the Wrestling Federation of India, of course, has lodged an official complaint saying that they've not been able to send their best team abroad the total strength of the squad, including wrestlers and support staff, was about 46. And the applications were actually submitted on the 4th of October, but the women's team was denied these visas, and hence they were not able to board their flights for Spain. And what we are given to understand is that the Wrestling Federation of India is also very upset with the reason that has been given for the refusal of visas. We are given to understand that the rejection that's been typed out on the application seems to suggest that there is no reasonable doubt as to your intention to leave the territory of the member states before expiry of the visa. Reaction that we are getting right now, of course, seems to suggest that the Indian contingent is extremely shocked at this development. Let's go across to our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, who's joining us right now on the phone line. Abhishek, obviously a huge setback, and it does appear that because of the denial of visas, our best team will not be able to participate.
Yes, and a little preposterous reason given for the visa denial, saying that you might not return back to your country. This to top athletes and wrestlers, 21 of them. This is the 6th edition of Under 23 World Championship that was to take place in Spain and Pontevedra, which seems to be in the northwestern part of the country. And they had applied for visas, we are being told, on October 4th, and the due process was followed. The Wrestling Federation of India was sort of the agency which was coordinating this, and there should not have been any doubt. And yet, just a day before they were to leave, they had tickets. They were denied visas, following which only 9 athletes could leave on a total 45 contingent that was to go, including the officials and the wrestlers. So obviously, this sort of turning out to be a diplomatic situation there. We are, going to connect with the Ministry of External Affairs and seek their reply, reaction, response as well. But it seems that these wrestlers were not given an opportunity to participate because of those extra, considerations that went into decision making. Now, this is the first time in almost 6 years that the Indian team won't feature in this event, and that's not good for the sports in general and Indian participation in particular. And these were top athletes, and they had performed very well in the last edition in Belgrade. It was expected that they would improve on their performance, so we don't know what other considerations were there in visa denial. One, for example, which says that they were likely not to return, seems a little on a stretch. But we are awaiting for a response from the Ministry of External Affairs. We'll try to see if the government of India is going to take it up. Also, we are going to get some reaction from the Spanish embassy in New Delhi as well.
Absolutely. As Abhishek is pointing out, of course, this is expected to cause a bit of a diplomatic row between the two countries. I think we've got Nivedana also joining us. Now, Nivedana, any comments that we are hearing from the Indian Wrestling Federation on this? Obviously, they were preparing for it, and we are given to understand that they were not able to board their flights on the last minute yesterday because of this visa denial that's come in from the Spaniards.
Right. One of the reactions coming in is from the WFI Assistant Secretary Vinod Tomar, where he's gone on to say that we will not be able to send our team. The total strength of the squad, including wrestlers and support staff, was 46, and we had submitted the applications on October 4th, but the women's team will not be able to board their flight because their visas were rejected. Now, in that application as well, one of the points of why the visa was rejected to kind of point out was the fact what has been mentioned over here is The rejected application reads, there are reasonable doubts is your intention to leave the territory of the member states before the expiry of the visa. So obviously it's a huge setback right ahead of a prestigious tournament like this. You know, out of 30 athletes, only 9 visas have been granted. One of the reactions, of course, like I just pointed out, has come in. But on the other hand, of course, just talking about the fact that this opportunity would have been huge for these athletes, because remember, the Indian girls won 5 medals at the previous edition of the Under-23 Worlds in Poland, and obviously this would have helped them, this stage would have helped them to better their performances. So definitely a huge setback for these athletes coming in with these visas being rejected, Nupur.
Absolutely. Nivedana as well as Abhishek, thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. So what we are looking at right now, of course, is India raising this issue with Spain over the issue of denial of visas. Now, some of the documents seem to suggest that there was reasonable doubt over whether these wrestlers would return to India. You are watching Republic TV, and on the other side, we continue our broadcast of the athletes who've been denied visas to enter the Under-23 World Championship in Spain.
Manish Sisodia Rajghat पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh. Manish Sisodia Rajghat पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh. Manish Sisodia Rajghat पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. बताइए सर, एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर, आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ तो बताइए सर, एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh, now you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade.
You're watching Live and Breaking here on Republic, and breaking news coming in now after being grilled for over 9 hours in Delhi Liquor Gate. After repeating Operation Lotus claim, making it about the Gujarat polls once again, Kejriwal's deputy Manish Sisodia is now in Gujarat, and Republic confronted the accused Sisodia on his big claims against the CBI.
के ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए
वो सब फर्जी है।
पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने वो सब झूठ है। पर सर आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकल है, पर आप दिल्ली में आप खुद ही आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
आपने खुद ने कहा है सर कि आप अपने तुलना महात्मा गांधी, भगत सिंह से।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाझूठी और गुंडों की पार्टी।
पर आपने खुद ने कहा है सर, ये आप अपने आप
जनता, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाझूठियों की और गुंडों की पार्टी है।
पर आपने ये जो बोला कि पॉलिटिकल मुद्दा बना रहे हैं कि मनीष जी, पर आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए
वो सब फर्जी है।
पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने वो सब झूठ है। पर सर आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकल है, पर आप दिल्ली में आप खुद ही आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
आपने खुद ने कहा है सर कि आप अपने तुलना महात्मा गांधी, भगत सिंह से।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाझूठी और गुंडों की पार्टी।
पर आपने खुद ने कहा है सर, ये आप अपने आप
जनता, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाझूठियों की और गुंडों की पार्टी है।
पर आपने ये जो बोला कि पॉलिटिकल मुद्दा बना रहे हैं कि मनीष, आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए
वो सब फर्जी है।
पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने वो सब झूठ है। पर सर आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकल है, पर आप दिल्ली में आप खुद ही आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
आपने खुद ने कहा है सर कि आप अपने तुलना महात्मा गांधी भगत सिंह से
जनता पार्टी महाझूठी और गुंडों की पार्टी।
पर आपने खुद ने कहा है सर, ये आप अपने आप
भारतीय जनता, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाझूठियों की और गुंडों की पार्टी है।
पर आपने ये जो बोला कि पॉलिटिकल मुद्दा बना रहे हैं कि मनीष जी, पर आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए,
वो सब फर्जी है।
पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है।
पर सर आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकल है, पर आप दिल्ली में आप खुद ही आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
आपने खुद ने कहा है सर कि आप अपने तुलना महात्मा गांधी भगत सिंह से
जनता पार्टी महाझूठी और गुंडों की पार्टी।
पर आपने खुद ने कहा है सर, ये आप अपने आप
भारतीय जनता, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाझूठियों की और गुंडों की पार्टी है।
पर आपने ये जो बोला कि पॉलिटिकल मुद्दा बना रहे हैं कि
So, Republic confronts Manish Sisodia accused in Liquorgate, and his reply to all the questions that our colleague Priyanka was asking about is that it's all fake and slamming the BJP in many ways. Once again, earlier he had claimed that inside the CBI headquarters, where he was questioned over his role in the entire scam, Manish Sisodia had said that pressure was put on him in order to leave the Aam Aadmi Party, and he was promised important positions. Priyanka joining us with more details about the confrontation you just saw. Priyanka, over to you.
Well, that's right. We just saw Manish Sisodia arriving in Ahmedabad at the Ahmedabad airport, where we were able to have that conversation with that. Although that would be more of a chase that we were able to have with him, because the confrontation to which he did not really have much of an answer, because he kept repeating something that he had come prepared with, even though there were specific questions about the liquor policy that were posed to him by me, and also about the kind of statements that he had put forth yesterday in the national capital when it comes to politicization of this entire liquor policy, to which he said that this is something that the BJP is doing, but he had no answers to give over the fact that there were rallies that were being taken out by the Aam Aadmi Party, where Manish Sisodia in that open car was seen waving to the crowd and comparing himself to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and Bhagat Singh as well, to which also he did not have many answers. But today as well, ironically, he is claiming that he was being stopped to come to Gujarat, but we do not see any hindrance that he had also faced in coming to Gujarat and coming here to Ahmedabad, and also visiting the educational institutes, to the schools that he claims that he will be going to as of now today as a part of the campaign for Gujarat, and that's the kind of conversation that we have been able to have. Yesterday as well, we saw Manish Sisodia in the national capital being grilled by the CBI for over 9 hours since morning as well, that we had been tracking that story very closely. And of course, he had been questioned about the kind of burden to the exchequer about the liquor policy, and the kind of favors that were doled out with regards to the liquor policy as well, to which also he did not have any answers. But we do see that Manish Sisodia is here today in Gujarat, trying to campaign for the upcoming elections. He's claiming that he will be going towards the schools and looking at the kind of condition of these schools as well, to also then be going on to campaign for the Aam Aadmi Party in the state of Gujarat. In fact, we are being told that he will be holding a press conference at about 12 p.m. But we are being told that we have been boycotted from that press conference, that we will not be allowed to go in that press conference because we asked him the questions about the liquor policy, to which he had only a parroted response about saying that this is the BJP fabricating these kind of allegations and evidences against him when it comes to the liquor policy. And of course, to specific questions, he did not have any answers. But we do see that Manish Sisodia here today, and we have been seeing that urban case.
Priyanka, stay with us. Priyanka, stay with us. We'll be coming right back to you. We'd like to show our viewers once again that confrontation you had, that exclusive conversation you had. Now you tell us also that Republic has been barred from entering the premises of his press conference. But more on that later. Let's show our viewers what Manish Sisodia had to say about the various issues we confronted him with.
मनीष जी, पर आपके ऊपर जो इल्जाम लगाए गए हैं लिकर पॉलिसी को लेके, आपने ही ड्राफ्ट किए
वो सब
थे,
फर्जी है।
पर आप डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर है सर, आपने ड्राफ्ट किया था और आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है
पर सर आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकल है, पर आप दिल्ली में आप खुद ही आप अपनी रैली कर रहे थे, आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी बता रहे थे।
झूठ है इन लोगों का सब।
आपने खुद ने कहा है सर कि आप अपने तुलना महात्मा गांधी, भगत सिंह से
जनता पार्टी महाझूठी और गुंडों की पार्टी।
पर आपने खुद ने कहा है सर, ये आप अपने आप
भारतीय जनता, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाझूठियों की और गुंडों की पार्टी है।
पर आपने ये जो बोला कि पॉलिटिकल मुद्दा बना रहे हैं कि
And going back once again to Priyanka. Priyanka, well, whether it is today in Ahmedabad or here in Delhi yesterday, the Aam Aadmi Party was making it all about the Gujarat elections. It was as if they were reaching out to the people of Gujarat from the national capital over the big issue they made about Manish Sisodia being summoned by the CBI. Well, give us a buzz that's underway there in Ahmedabad and the kind of plans that the Aam Aadmi Party has. Well, dates not yet announced, but it's released a number of lists of candidates already.
Rukma, important that you ask this question. In fact, because we do see the modus operandi of the Aam Aadmi Party workers and the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, where they are saying that all of the allegations that have been leveled against them, all of the summons that have been sent to them, they will be using that to campaign against the BJP. And that's exactly the visuals that we saw yesterday in the national capital, in that open car where Manish Sisodia had been greeted with the hundreds of followers, hundreds of cadres, and all of them showering flower petals on him. And then, of course, for hitting the crescendo of this kind of a campaign, Manish Sisodia comparing himself to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and Bhagat Singh as well. This was a question that I asked him here as well, to which he had no answer. He just parroted a response about how BJP is fabricating the allegations and evidences against him. But this is something that we see here as well. Let me remind our viewers, we saw that Gopal Italia had also been summoned by the NCW, and we had been seeing the kind of demeanor of the Aam Aadmi Party workers and the leaders here, where they were claiming that they will do a Rath Yatra towards the NCW office, and that's what we saw happening, where several hundreds of Aam Aadmi Party workers had been there at the NCW office as well. And this is the kind of modus operandi that we see that Aam Aadmi Party is using. And very rightly you pointed out, Rukma, that it seems as though the Aam Aadmi Party is campaigning for the Gujarat elections there in the national capital as well. But we are here on the ground, viewers. We're getting you all the updates on the ground. We have been able to have that exclusive conversation with Manish Sisodia, and we will be keeping you updated on each and every development when it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party workers, Manish Sisodia, and the liquor policy scam that has come to light.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now, you see, is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the
In Live and Breaking, we bring you breaking news from Tamil Nadu. The state government there is, we are hearing, to pass a resolution against the imposition of Hindi in the assembly today. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin will be moving this in the assembly. So very likely a resolution in the state assembly today by Chief Minister M.K. Stalin in Tamil Nadu against the imposition of Hindi. Varshini joining us live. Varshini, what are you hearing? We are talking here about the passing of a resolution in the Tamil Nadu Assembly against the imposition of Hindi. What are your latest inputs?
The Tamil Nadu State Assembly has convened today morning, and we heard the agenda very clearly speaks about the day's plan, and we see that Chief Minister M.K. Stalin will be moving a resolution. It will be a separate resolution, a special resolution that will also be passed today, and the Chief Minister who will be moving this will be speaking about how the Tamil Nadu government and the Tamil Nadu State Assembly will be urging the union government, is exactly what is mentioned in the agenda. It will be asking them to urge to not to take the recommendations of the parliamentary committee that has submitted the report. The Tamil Nadu government is going to pass this resolution today, which will be urging the centre not to take the recommendations of the committee, which is headed by Union Home Minister Amit Shah. And the Chief Minister has also been constantly talking about the same report for the past few days. He's been speaking about how the recommendations in the report are not very true to what is in the reality about the states that do not speak Hindi, and the majority of the people who speak other languages are more, and which will be this recommendations that is given in this report.
Varshini, and we also hear that the opposition in the state has something else to say entirely on Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and the DMK stand on the issue. Well, Many thanks, Varshini, for joining us there. But we'll be staying on this story as the row over the imposition of Hindi in Tamil Nadu reaches the state assembly today. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin to bring in a resolution against the passing of the imposition of Hindi.
It's raring for adventure, a fierce hunter. The new breed rises above all others. A new breed of SUVs, the advanced Grand Vitara, rule every road.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. सर कुछ तो बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh. मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं। We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as he followed the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, you want to say something? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। मनीष जी, बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी, मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Sanjay Singh made by Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
News media is evolving. The mediums are expanding. The opportunities are plenty. It is time to put the focus on what is the future of news media. India's biggest news federation brings you India's biggest news media conclave.
Breaking news now from Bathinda. A mega NI crackdown on gangsters is underway. Amandeep joining us with the latest on this. Amandeep, we believe that it's a mega crackdown. Give us all the details. What's happening now?
Sidhu Moosewala, including RPG attack as well, and Rukma. We have joined Shelly Sharma as well. Shelly is the one advocate who was handling the cases, and today morning around 3 to 4 hours the NIA remained in their house and conducted the searches, and Shelly Sharma claimed that she was handling the case and that was the reason NIA raided in their house. And ma'am, what are the documents or laptops or the phones they have seen?
I am not saying solely these reasons. The reason being that Ankush specifically, Inspector Ankush told me that you are handling these cases. Yes. Then why these cases are with you? So obviously, what kind of query is this? Sir? So I don't think so. Obviously, every advocate has a right to do any kind of case.
This is the first time that NIA or ED or CBI, any agency came to you.
Yes, sir. Though I have cases of ED also, even one of the high-profile matter, Bhola truck matters. Then DRI cases also. It doesn't mean that you specifically target a council who is established now. So
now the lawyers are protesting against this raid.
Yes, sir. They are with me.
So we have district lawyers bar council president also. Sir, now the lawyers are protesting against this case.
We have already suspended our work for today, and they are setting a precedent for all the lawyers now by doing this, that if somebody will protest or somebody will defend somebody's case, then obviously we will raid your place and then we'll let you know that you are not at all in authority to take charge of those cases. This is what exactly happened with our lawyer. And Dr. Shelly Sharma, she's such a having a high stature in our bar also, that even High Court has now suspended her work. I just got a call from the bar president, Mr. Naba, and they have suspended the work, and now they are also going for this house. We are calling house by we have fixed the time for 12 tomorrow, and next cause whatever the action would be, then we'll take whatever the unanimous decision taken by the bar.
So basically 51 locations has been raided by NIA, and one of the location was the advocate of the Shelly Sharma. Viewers, we are slipping into a very short break, but stay tuned for more stories, just because the raid story is continued and getting bigger in this nation. Stay tuned to Republic TV.
middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं. We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by.
Yet another cowardly attack in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 labourers are shot dead while they were sleeping. There is anger over back-to-back targeted killings in the valley. India asks for justice.
मुझे इस बात के लिए डराया जाए कि किसी तरह से मैं आप छोड़ने को तैयार हो जाऊं, मैं किसी तरह से बीजेपी में शामिल होने को तैयार हो जाऊं.
Grilled for over 9 hours, Manish Sisodia repeats Operation Lotus claim, makes it about Gujarat polls once again.
आपको बोला जा रहा है कि जो कॉर्पोरेट जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो लिकर माफिया है, उनके ऊपर आपने
वो सब झूठ है सारे।
पर सर आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकल है, पर आप
In Gujarat, Republic questions Kejriwal's deputy on poaching claim.
भगवान राम भी अयोध्या से श्रृंखल तक पैदल गए थे, पर ये राहुल गांधी उससे भी ज्यादा पैदल जाएंगे कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक।
Dialogue Minister likens Rahul Gandhi's Padyatra to Lord Ram. The BJP hits out at the Congress says didn't believe in Ram Mandir. Now compares Rahul to Lord Ram. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us on Republic TV. This is Live and Breaking. I'm Nupur Talwar. So we are going straight ahead to the big story we are tracking this morning. It is the targeted killings that have taken place in Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir. A grenade was lobbed last night inside a shed where laborers from Uttar Pradesh were sleeping. Both of them unfortunately passed away. So pictures on your screen are of the ADGP of Kashmir, Vijay Kumar, visiting the site of the targeted killings that took place in Shopian. Now, shortly after the killings took place, of course, one terrorist has been arrested over this attack. He had lobbed a grenade inside this tin shelter in which these laborers were staying. Now, this is an apple orchard that's located in Shopian. And often enough, there are laborers from outside of Jammu and Kashmir who come and work in the apple orchards. Two of them, of course, targeted in this particular attack. This was, we're given to understand, a hybrid terrorist who actually lobbed this grenade. He was shortly arrested. And following this, there's been an encounter this morning as well. And sanitization operations are still continuing in that area.
उसने रेड शो किया है, उन्होंने कन्फेस भी कर लिया है। बाकी उसके साथ जो भी और लोग के साथ चलते हैं उसको भी अरेस्ट किया गया है और हम लोग कोरोना सर्च जो हाईडआउट बता रहे हैं वहाँ सर्च कर रहे हैं और बहुत जल्दी जो मेन कल्प्रिट टेररिस्ट जो है जिसके लिए काम करता है ये लश्कर तैयबा का दानिश हो गया, चाहे यहाँ के डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमांडर आबिद हो गया, इसको भी जल्दी न्यूट्रलाइज करेंगे।
सर कितने अरेस्ट हुए हैं अभी तक?
अभी तो 2 अरेस्ट हुए हैं। देखिए जैसा आप सब जानते हैं कि जो आउटसाइड लेबर जो होते हैं ये सॉफ्ट टारगेट है, इनके पास कोई सिक्योरिटी है नहीं यहाँ पर। तो इस टाइप का जो घिनौना जो काराना हरकत किया है उसको उसी टाइप का हम लोग जवाब देंगे, इसको अरेस्ट करेंगे और पूरा प्रूव करके ऑनरेबल कोर्ट में पेश भी करेंगे, आप लोग की एविडेंस शेयर करेंगे और जो हार्डकोर टेररिस्ट उसको न्यूट्रलाइज करते आ रहे हैं और जल्दी इसको भी कर देंगे हम।
सर जिसको आपने पकड़ा है उनसे लीड मिली है कि कौन से दोनों घटनाएं जो हुई है क्या उनमें जोड़ है, क्या एक ही संगठन?
पहला भी जो घटना है लश्कर तैयबा ने किया, हालांकि अलबदर ने क्लेम किया झूठा है, एलटी ने किया है और हम लोग जो किया है उसको बहुत जल्दी न्यूट्रलाइज कर देंगे।
Well, the ADGP of Kashmir, Vijay Kumar, over there visiting the site, and when he was speaking to the media, of course, he was talking about how vulnerable these soft targets are to attacks like this one. These largely are lone wolf attacks that have taken place. This attack, of course, particularly was carried out by a hybrid terrorist. A hybrid terrorist is essentially one who is not on any of the lists that exist with security forces, which essentially designate someone as a terrorist. These hybrid terrorists just come, carry out these lone wolf attacks and run away and mingle with the civil population, and that is why it becomes that much more tough for security forces to be able to essentially pinpoint these and take action. Pictures on your screen are of the place where this attack took place. It is a tin shelter where these laborers were actually staying. They were both from Uttar Pradesh. Gursimran joining us on the broadcast live, I think, from Jammu. Gursimran, we've been talking about how difficult it is for security forces essentially, when attacks like this one take place, because these are lone wolf attacks that have taken place. Give us a sense of what you're hearing from security forces in terms of how they hope to up the security of these laborers.
See, Nupur, there is anger among the locals of Jammu and Kashmir. Right now, we are here in Jammu, where the reserve category employees, those who were posted in the Kashmir Valley, but out of fear have come here. They are staging protest here, and one thing they are saying that these severe targeted killings, the target killings of the locals should end. We'll try to speak to them what they have to say. लगातार ये जो killings हो रही हैं, क्या कहना?
सर, सबसे पहले आपका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहते हैं और मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि सबसे पहले इंसानियत को बचाना चाहिए, इंसानियत की हिफाजत करना चाहिए। जो किलिंग हो रही है, सिविल किलिंग, टारगेट किलिंग हो रही है, ये रोकनी चाहिए। हर इंसान का फर्ज बनता है। हम दरख्वास्त करते हैं कि ये जल्द से जल्द मतलब कि टारगेट किलिंग जो है रुकनी चाहिए। हम गवर्नमेंट से भी अपील करते हैं, मोदी साहब से भी अपील करते हैं, हम कश्मीर के लोगों से भी हम गुजारिश करते हैं, जम्मू के लोगों के से गुजारिश करते हैं, जल्द से जल्द इस माहौल को ठंडा किया जाए ताकि मतलब आगे और नुकसान ना हो।
जो टारगेटेड किलिंग्स शुड स्टॉप, दिस इज व्हाट दे आर सेइंग। मुझे ये बताइए, लगातार आप लोगों ने कश्मीर में काम किया है, अब आखिरकार क्यों डर लग रहा है?
देखिए, जैसे रोज़ रोज़ वहाँ टारगेट किलिंग की घटनाएं हो रही हैं, जैसे कल रात को शोपियान में जो इंसिडेंट हुआ है, 2 नॉन लोकल लेबरर्स को वहाँ पर गोली का शिकार बनाया गया है, हमारा डर बिल्कुल स्वाभाविक है। ऐसे हालात में कर्मचारी वहाँ पर काम नहीं कर सकते। अगर इनकी सुरक्षा व्यवस्था को सुनिश्चित नहीं किया जाता, तब तक इनको कश्मीर में ड्यूटी जूम करने के लिए फोर्स ना किया जाए। और हमारी मांग है सरकार से कि हमारे लिए एक ट्रांसफ़र पॉलिसी बनाई जाए, जिसके लिए सरकार ने कमेटी का गठन किया है। हम ये चाहते हैं कि दीपावली तक जितने भी कर्मचारी जिनकी सैलरी पिछले 4 महीने से बंद है, उनको रिलीज किया जाए और एक ट्रांसफर पॉलिसी नोटिफाई।
ट्रांसफर पॉलिसी जो है दैट शुड बी ब्रॉट इन, दिस इज व्हाट दे आर सेइंग। मैडम, लगातार सरकार कह रही है कि प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं कि आतंकी गतिविधियों पर रोक लगे ताकि आम लोग बच पाएं।
Sir, we want to serve there, but not in present situation. हम चाहते हैं वहाँ नौकरी करना, लेकिन इन हालातों में हम वहाँ बिल्कुल नहीं जाना चाहते। हमारे साथ छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं और जब हम शहीदों की लाशें देखते हैं, आप सोचिए कि हम कैसे, हम सोच नहीं सकते वहाँ जाने की। मैं कहती हूँ, आज 6000 कर्मचारी, चाहे वो पीएम पैकेज के हैं, चाहे वो हम डोगरास हैं जम्मू के, हमारी एक ही डिमांड है, हमें बचा लो, हमें बचा लो। और हम तब बच सकते हैं जब हमारे लिए एक सूटेबल कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ट्रांसफर पॉलिसी होगी। तो प्लीज, आपको बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म मिलेंगे पॉलिटिक्स करने के लिए। हम शहीदों की लाशों पे पॉलिटिक्स ना करें और जो जिंदा बचे हुए हैं इनको सेव करें, इनको बचाने की कोशिश करें ताकि ये भी चैन की सांस ले सकें।
So a very strong message coming from the employees that the government should take adequate steps to save them because there is regular threat to their lives. They are saying that those who have given their lives, they are here, we remember them, but one thing is very sure that this spate of the recent targeted killings should end. The government should take appropriate steps. Nupur.
And Gursimran, what are you hearing from the government in terms of how they are looking to tackle this growing anger? Because there are several of these employees who are refusing to go back to work till they feel safe enough.
See, as of now, what it seems, there is no policy of the government when it comes to the Kashmiri Pandit employees, as they have been appointed as part of the rehabilitation of the Kashmiri Pandits to the Kashmir Valley. But for the Jammu-based reserve category employees, the government has already formed a committee, and it's expected that by month's end, the government will submit a report. The committee will submit a report, and very soon a transfer policy will be introduced for them. But one thing is very sure, that there is a fear among these employees, and what they want that proper transfer policy they be moved to the secure places till the time the civilian killings don't end. But one thing is very sure, that all of these people, those who have left their homes to serve in the Kashmir Valley, they want that the situation improves and there is no more civilian killing, because they are saying that every single day they are getting news that one of their known is getting killed in the Kashmir Valley as of the plot of the Pakistan to carry out the targeted killings in Kashmir. See, I'll request Sarjeevan to keep showing you the visuals that how these protests are taking place. Sir, लगातार targeted killings कश्मीर घाटी में लगातार आप विरोध प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं targeted killings के खिलाफ, क्या कहना चाहते?
सर, आपके माध्यम से हम ये कहना चाहते हैं कि आज तक टारगेट किलिंग पे गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया है। पिछले पिछले 2021 में अक्टूबर में पहली बार हमारी प्रिंसिपल मैडम सुपिंदर कौर की डेथ हुई थी। उसके बाद लगातार टारगेट किलिंग हो रही है और गवर्नमेंट ने अभी तक कोई कंक्रीट स्टेप नहीं लिया है कि वहाँ जो नॉन लोकल हैं, जहाँ हिंदू मिनारिटी में जो लोग हैं, उनकी सेफ्टी के लिए आज तक क्या किया है। हम आपके माध्यम से गवर्नमेंट को ये पूछना चाहते हैं।
तो लगातार टारगेटेड किलिंग्स आर नॉट स्टॉपिंग एंड दैट इज समथिंग अ कॉज ऑफ वरी फॉर देम। आपसे मैं जानना चाहूँगा, कश्मीर में आपने सर्व किया है, अब डर आखिरकार क्यों डर लगता है?
हमें बहुत डर है सर, बहुत डर।
क्यों
अरे अब हमारा दर्द ये कब गवर्नमेंट समझेगी सर?
So there is clearly a sense of fear among these employees who have served in the Kashmir Valley, but they are saying that till when the government will come to understand their issues, that we have some more employees with us. मुझे ये बताइए क्या हालात हैं, क्योंकि सारे कह रहे हैं डर लग रहा है जिस तरह से किलिंग्स हो रही हैं।
सर बड़ा दुख होता है कि हम जो है मातम मनाने के लिए जो है पैदा नहीं हुए। देखो जब भी कोई भी कैजुअलिटी होती है वहाँ पर क्या हालात है, लेकिन वहाँ से डेड बॉडीज आ रही है और सरकार जो है मातम पर मातम बनाई जा रही है। और मैं सरकार से ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि मातम मनाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं। ये देखिए कि जान बचाइएगा पहले इन लोगों की, मातम मनाने तक नौबत नहीं आनी चाहिए। लेकिन एक सुपिंदर कौर से ये सिलसिला शुरू हुआ, लेकिन आज तक ये सिलसिला जो है खत्म नहीं। आपने देखा कि परसों जो है पूरन चांद जी, उनकी जो है घर में जाके गोली से हत्या हो गई। और आज जो है जब सुबह खबर सुनी, बड़ी दुखद खबर आई कि 2 मजदूर बेचारे, उनके ऊपर जो है ग्रेनेड, उनके कमरे में जाके ग्रेनेड जो है फेंका हुआ। इसकी जिम्मेवार कौन है? सरकार जिम्मेवार है, क्योंकि पहले जो है अपनी नागरिक की, अपनी सिटीजन की उनकी जान बचाए, तब जो है उसके बाद जो हमारी नौकरी है। लेकिन बार बार वहां से इरेलीवेंट ऑर्डर निकाल दिए जाते हैं कि बायोमेट्रिक करो। आप बताइए सर, पहले बायोमेट्रिक जरूरी है या लाइफ मैटर करती है? किसी की जिंदगी को बचाना है, किसी के जीवन को बचाना है। अगर किसी की हत्या होती है, कोई इंसान जाता है, इतने बच्चे अनाथ हो जाते हैं, पूरा समाज अनाथ हो जाता है, पूरा जो है हर एक तबका सोसाइटी का जो है वो सफर करता है जी।
So a very strong message coming from here that the government should focus at least on those lives who are there in the Kashmir Valley, and this targeted killings should not, and anyhow this needs to be stopped as it is being happened in the Kashmir Valley. लगातार जिस तरह से ये माहौल हो रहा है, 3 किलिंग्स पिछले 3 दिन में हो गई, क्या कहें
सर? पिछले 2 साल से ये टारगेट किलिंग जो शुरू हुई है, हालात ऐसे हो गए, सरकार कहती है हम आपको सिक्योर जोन देंगे। हमें ये बताओ कश्मीर में सिक्योर जोन है कहाँ? किस किस को सिक्योरिटी दी जा सकती है? किसी भी एक आदमी को सिक्योरिटी नहीं दी जा सकती। इसलिए हमारी मांग है कि जब तक वहाँ पे हालात नहीं होते, जिन लोगों को जम्मू में शिफ्ट किया जाए और एक ट्रांसफर पॉलिसी जो है वो बनाई जाए, ताकि ये जिनके 5-5 साल हो गए हैं, ये 15-15 सालों से वहाँ पर टिके हुए हैं, जिनके 5 साल हो गए उनको जम्मू में ट्रांसफर किया जाए, और बाकी को सिक्योर जब तक सिक्योरिटी वहाँ पे हालात ठीक नहीं होते, जम्मू में सुइटेबल प्लेस पर लगाया जाए।
So this protest continues here in Jammu by the reserve category employees. One demand is that those lives there are in Kashmir Valley, they be secured on the priority.
Right, absolutely, Gursimran. Considerable anger over there amongst the people where you're reporting from. Let's also get in Zeenath right now for a word. Zeenath, obviously this is a considerable security challenge, and political parties are only adding to it by making the kind of statements that we've heard coming in from the Gupkar alliance.
See, the situation on ground is very fragile. We need to understand this. Despite all the measures that being taken up by the security forces, we are seeing that one or the another political leader is making statements to keep himself relevant in news. Because yesterday, when the people, the protesters, tried to remove the signboards of Hurriyat Conference, so many things went on Twitter against the move that people should not condemn it like that. Hurriyat sympathizers were there and other things. So these kind of killings are expected under such circumstances. But then when you see this target killing that happened today in the middle of the night, this all happened in darkness. It was not a broad day killing, taking an advantage of darkness, or when you don't have much deployment on ground because of the when the darkness is all around. So taking an advantage of it is they targeted the non-local liberals who are the soft targets, fragile targets, as ADGP Kashmir, Vijay Kumar, also visited the spot, the targeted spot. He went on ground, took every people on into confidence and also investigating the matter. He also pointed out it is the elite, the Lashkar-e-Toiba behind these attacks, and he talked about the laborers, that these laborers come to Kashmir to earn their livelihood, and at the time when the harvesting is at peak, you find such kind of laborers everywhere. It is not only in Shopian, but everywhere the harvesting season is, the people, they come from different parts of the country to earn their livelihood, and to secure each and every laborer, it's not possible. You see, if we talk about one area in Shopian, it has more than 12,000 laborers. So when you have a deployment of 100 to 200 people, forces on ground, how would they square 12,000 plus numbers from one corner, not to talk about the district? These are the technical hitch that the security forces do face. But despite all the measures that being taken by the security forces, you see the anti-terror operations also, the numbers are getting killed, the people, the terrorists are getting killed. So this tells you that how the security forces on ground are working to keep the situation under control or to establish the peace on ground.
Absolutely, Zirata. As you're pointing out, it is a challenge which security forces are trying their best to rise up to. But Zeenat, of course, sent us this report earlier this morning. She was reporting from the exact spot where this incident took place last night.
Where the non-local laborers were sleeping in the evening, and then they were targeted early morning. This is the place where you can see that they have some bedding is lying here on the floor, and in fact some apple boxes too are lying on this floor. This is the very place where they were targeted by this hybrid terrorist who hurled grenade. My VJ is giving you the frame. These are the visuals from that very place, because this is the place as one can see the damage that has caused because of the grenade. So here these laborers were sleeping, and he lodged it.
मनोज सिन्हा जी की अगुवाई में ऐसे दुर्दांत आतंकियों के खिलाफ जो निरीह लोगों को, निर्दोष लोगों को अपना शिकार बनाते हैं, कार्रवाई भी होगी। उत्तर प्रदेश के वह दोनों श्रमिक थे जो वहाँ अपना परिवार के जीविकोपार्जन के लिए गए थे, उनके साथ इस घटना पे दुख व्यक्त करता हूँ, उन्हें अपनी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूँ, और दुख की घड़ी में परिवार के साथ सरकार खड़ी।
सर, फारूक अब्दुल्ला ने हटने के बावजूद भी ये घटनाएं नहीं रुक रही हैं।
देखिए, वो क्या कह रहे हैं और सरकार को क्या करना है, वह केशव प्रसाद का विषय नहीं है। भारत सरकार जानती है किन से बात करना है और किन से बात नहीं करना है, और जहां बात करने की जिससे आवश्यकता होती है वो बात करते हैं। लेकिन फारूक अब्दुल्ला जी जम्मू कश्मीर के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री रहे हैं, और उनका कोई बयान है तो उस पर मेरे द्वारा प्रतिक्रिया देना उचित नहीं।
एक आखिरी सवाल है, जिस तरह उसके बाद आम आदमी पार्टी ने मनीष सिसोदिया का कंपैरिजन भगत सिंह से कर दिया, जिसके बाद शहीद आजम।
All right, so that's the reaction that we are getting right now from Uttar Pradesh. Now, these two laborers actually were from Uttar Pradesh. They were at the orchard for the harvesting season. Gursimran is joining us live right now from Jammu, and he's reporting from a protest site. Gursimran, as you've been bringing to us since this morning, there seems to be not just a lot of anger, but also a lot of anguish in terms of the killings that have taken place.
Yes, there is a visible anger among the locals, those who have served in the Kashmir Valley, and what they are saying that we want transfers out of the Kashmir Valley, and this spate of the targeted killings in the Kashmir Valley should end. This should end with the immediate effect. They are holding the photos of those who have been brutally killed by the terrorist, be it Shahid Puran Kishan Bhatt, who was killed 2 days back, or the martyr Rajni Bala, who was shot dead by terrorists in Kulgam. And they have a very strong message, a simple and a strong message they are sending, that the target killings needs to be stopped. Save lives, save nation is the message that is coming from them. लगातार आप लोग मांग कर रहे हैं कि टारगेटेड किलिंग्स रुकनी चाहिए, तभी कश्मीर घाटी जाएंगे।
बिल्कुल, जब तक टारगेट किलिंग का दौर खत्म नहीं होता है, जब तक हम कर्मचारियों की सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित नहीं की जाती है, तब तक हमें कश्मीर में ड्यूटी रिज्यूम करने के लिए फोर्स ना किया जाए। हमारी संस्कृति को जम्मू में लिया जाए। देखिए एक कर्मचारी का जीवन जो है वो किसी बायोमेट्रिक अटेंडेंस से भी बड़ा है। आप कर्मचारी को बलि का बकरा नहीं बना सकते।
So very clear message that is coming from here, that the lives of the employees is much more precious than the biometric attendance, and this all the government needs to see how to end this recent spate of killing. We'll be continuing with this coverage right after this short break on the other side.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं।
We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ तो बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं।
We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ तो बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं।
We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat. The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as we follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
सर यू वांट टू से समथिंग? सर बताइए, कुछ तो बताइए सर। आपको समन किया जा रहा है। सर कुछ तो बताइए सर। एक सवाल मनीष जी एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas. Hand on hand security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and
And here's a quick look at what else is making news this morning. 2 non-local labourers from Uttar Pradesh were killed in an overnight attack at Shopian in Jammu and Kashmir. The incident comes as the 3rd instance of targeted killing in the last 3 days. Responsibility for the attack was taken by the Resistance Front with a hybrid terrorist of the Lashkar-e-Taiba arrested by the police in Shopian.
See, the Kashmiri Pandit community and the non-locals that have been targeted have invited the anger among the locals in Jammu and Kashmir, where the employees from the reserve category are staging protests and demanding that they be transferred to the safer location. We'll be continuing with this rolling coverage right after this short break on the other side.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं.
We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as he follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something? Sir, बताइए, कुछ बताइए सर. आपको समन किया जा रहा है. मनीष जी, बताइए सर. एक सवाल. मनीष जी, एक सवाल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
Sanjay Singh now you see is in the middle and protected by the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, hand on hand, security around Manish, around Sanjay Singh, made by Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas and leaders. They are not allowing police officials to take Sanjay Singh. Police finally detained Sanjay Singh.
मनीष सिसोदिया राजघाट पहुंच चुके हैं.
We are right outside Rajghat. Massive cavalcade of all the Aam Aadmi Party supporters is here at Rajghat.
The vehicle of Manish Sisodia as he follow the cavalcade to CBI for interrogation.
Sir, you want to say something?